I've purchased some ridiculous video game consoles over the past year, and so in this video, we're gonna go through my top 12 videos of the year and check out some of the best moments. Number 12. eBay is a great place to find interesting video game consoles, but unfortunately, eBay has tons of crappy sellers with really bad feedback. So I bought PS5 consoles from some of eBay's worst sellers, and in this video, we'll test these consoles out and see if the sellers deserve their bad feedback. Now we'll start with this doozy of a PS5, and the first thing you see looking at the listing is there's a giant chunk taken out of the corner of the faceplate, and man, it doesn't stop there. The seller has some horrible feedback. Like this one says the seller did not send the product as it was described on eBay, and worst of all, I see multiple people saying the seller ghosted them. But let's go ahead and open this package up, see what's inside. And we have all of our cords here. Oh, that's interesting wrapping job, but that's fine. Also got the controller here, and the controller is actually that's in pretty nice condition. It's a little bit not dusty, but like wait, what is that? Ew. Oh, there's just like a wet spot along the corner. That's weird. But other than that, it's not bad. Now the console here I expect will be a different story. Let's go ahead and find out. And yo, there it is. Sure enough, we've got the Jordan stickers on one side, and then flipping this bad boy over, we have just an entire chunk taken out of the corner of the faceplate. Like, how does that happen? Holy crap, this thing is disgusting. It's just got like grime and marks all over the glossy part. Even the plates, like usually these things don't, like dirt doesn't appear on camera very well on these plates, but you can see it alive and well on this one. There is so much grime there. Same with the side with the Jordan stickers. Just looks bad. And wait a second. Oh no. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's like yellow stains in the corner of that faceplate there. Wait a second. Oh, a bug fell out. You gotta be kidding me. But you know, otherwise it seems to include everything that was shown in the photo so far. So far so good. And I want to actually start by taking this faceplate off the top because like I said, I saw some nastiness under there. I'll take it out from the, oh my goodness. Holy crap. That, I don't know what to say. This might be worse than the cockroach PS5 I got from GameStop a few years ago. This is horrible. Let's just plug it in and see what happens. All right, plugged it in. I'm a little scared, but let's go ahead and see if it turns on. There's power, but there was no power beep. What? Oh, starting off strong. And we are surprisingly actually booted up here so far. And nice, not factory reset, classic here. We got a bunch of stuff still downloaded. So we have the Crew Motorfest, College Football 25A, Dragon Ball, Sleeping Dogs, Call of Duty. Oh wait, we also got more profiles on here. We got Cowboy Hefe. We got, can't pronounce that. We got Cooper, Jack Mihawk. Got him! Nice. Yeah, let's do it. Well, never mind. Can't do anything on any of these profiles because they're not signed in. So let me try to sign into my profile. We'll try to play a game. I mean, guys, I'll give it to them. I've been playing for like 10 minutes and this console really has not heated up that much and it's running perfectly fine, which is just surprising given how dirty this thing was. But let's go ahead and turn this thing off, tear it apart some more, and take a closer look at it because I'm scared. So you already saw this part and it's just absurd how dirty it is. Now here on the bottom, oh my goodness, just as bad, if not worse. There's just filthiness everywhere, and holy crap, what happened to this thing? This thing has clearly been opened before in some capacity because, or what, wait, maybe not? Because the warranty seal is still there, but there's just tons of marks all over this thing. What happened? I'm so confused. Holy crap, yeah, taking off the fan grill. I have no words. That is the most disgusting PS5's fan I've ever seen. I don't know what to say. All right, so taking this plate off. It actually looks a decent amount better on the inside. Still not good, but it's definitely better on the outside. Now I'm not gonna go any further here, but you can see that the heat sink is just disgusting. But guys, let's go ahead and leave this guy some feedback now. I mean, the console works. I'll give him that. But man, this thing is filthy. Like I don't understand how a PS5 gets this dirty. And of course, the listing conveyed nothing about the filth of this console. Because of that, I'm giving negative feedback. Now guys, we have a normal disc edition of the PS5 here, and it's kind of got an interesting story. Let me explain. So initially the listing looks normal, it's got a used condition here, so it should be working, but you scroll down to the description, there's some issues here. So it says the 2 USB ports are non-functional, disk drive is operational but has difficulty ejecting and inserting disks smoothly, but otherwise it works. It's like, okay, that's a little weird, but fine, whatever. Then we go to the feedback and it gets a little more interesting. We've got somebody that says, PlayStation arrived broken, does not read discs, basically the contact of the seller, and the seller said, we'll refund you $25 and you can fix it yourself, which is kind of funny. Another person says the PS5 cuts on and off after 30 days of use. And then even more strange is you go to the sold listings of this person and they have a bunch of consoles that are like partially working, not fully broken, not fully working, but like working with random issues. So I'm really curious where these consoles are coming from, but let's go ahead and open this box up and see what's actually inside. All right, tons of bubble wrap here, which is great to see. And initial glance at the console, it actually looks pretty good. So here in the bottom, wait, what was that? Something's rattling. We'll take a look at that here in a second, but we got, bottom looks pretty good. Top looks nice. Wait, what? Top looks pretty good until you see this weird splatter effect there on the top. That's a little sketchy, but all right, we'll just ignore that for now. And then take, oh my gosh, yeah, taking a look at the back, sure enough, that USB port is just like completely gone. Like, how does that happen? What? I don't understand. But that USB port looks, actually that one looks kind of jacked up as well. So it's probably those two that don't work. I would assume the two on the front do work, at least they should. And holy crap, look at all the scratches there on the front around the USB ports. That's so bad. Actually, wait, hold on. Yo. Wait, no, this USB port's broken as well. I didn't even notice that. Like the entire blue piece on the inside is just gone. Let's plug it in though and see what happens, I guess. Oh gosh, I just walked behind this thing and it's got a disgusting smell. All right, we'll just ignore that for now and plug our controller in, see if that works. All right, console's booted up. Let's go ahead and start by checking our system software. We're on 10.4, so it's a little bit old, but not too old. All right, guys, well, I'm kind of confused what's happening now because I turned the console on, it was working, but then I updated it to, you know, update the console so I could use the internet, and now it's not doing anything. And you can see it's actually white, so it should be booted up, but there's nothing on the screen, which is not a great sign. Oh, wait, the HDMI cable came unplugged. What? Oh, the HDMI plug is kind of loose. That's rough. It's just not showing anything now. All right, well, now it's back. Dude, some suspicious activity from this PS5 so far, but we'll keep testing it to see what it can do. We are booted back up now. Let me go to connect to the internet and make sure this thing's not banned because I'm a little suspicious now after these weird things happening. All right, connected up. Seems to be good there. Now, I'm curious about this disk drive. Like I said, there is some issues with it pulling disks in and ejecting them. So let's go ahead and take the medium here, PS5 game, let's slide it in and see what happens here. All right. Yeah, that is pretty rough. Did it go in? And it is copying the game, so the laser should be good, so that's interesting. Let me see how it acts when I pop the disc out now. Wow, yeah, that's pretty rough. I'm guessing the rollers are just dirty, but you know, I've tested a bunch of PS5s at this point. I've seen that issue maybe like once. Kind of surprised I don't see it more often, to be honest. All right, man. Well, I will say the thing is pretty accurate so far as to what the listing said. It would have been nice to see a little bit more details about the HDMI port itself because it's a bit loose, but it does work. Guys, I want to take the face plates off of this thing and take a look on the inside a little bit and just see what exactly is going on inside of this thing. Yeah, taking this faceplate off, this thing, oh, wow, yeah, it looks like it's never been opened before. We got our warranty still intact there, got our sticker here, which makes me even more confused as to how this happened to the USB port. Like, what was somebody doing to this thing? I figured it might be damaged from somebody opening the console and like doing something weird to it, but no, it's just somebody's normal use, I guess. Now, I'm not gonna fix the rollers in this thing, but guys, I'm gonna list this console on my website if you wanna check it out. I'll list it down below or scan the QR code on the screen. But guys, let's go leave some feedback for the seller now. Honestly, one of the weirdest PS5 consoles I've ever seen. I seriously don't understand how the USB ports got completely destroyed. But regardless, other than the slightly loose HDMI port, this PS5 definitely matched the description. Because of that, I'm giving positive feedback. But guys, here I have a digital PS5, and the listing itself looks pretty normal at first glance, but taking a look at the feedback, oh man, this is bad. And a lot of the negative feedback is specifically related to PS5, so this is like a seasoned PS5 scammer. Let's take a look. Now this feedback says PS5 came with no protection, so all the panels were off, with 2 of them had broken clips, the fan cable was cut, and the HDMI port was broken. This one says the PlayStation 5 GPU fails, which I've seen happen before. It's pretty rough. And here's another one that seems to indicate the PS5 is defective and overheating. Basically, they say it shuts down when playing games. This person says the packaging was very poor. Console was in just cardboard box with panels dislodged. So yeah, poor packaging is a common theme. Let's go ahead and see how it, oh yeah, that's bad. Oh my goodness, there's no packaging at all. You gotta be kidding me. The reviews are right. Let's go ahead and take a look though. It's wrapped up in one piece of just random paper. Yup, there it is. Completely dislodged. Holy crap, the reviews are 100% accurate. That's insane. Oh man, and taking a look at the top faceplate, it also, like, this is horrible. That's one of the worst faceplates I've ever seen. There's like sticky stuff all over it. There's just like old juice stains or something. I'll give it juice. It's probably something else, but yeah, it doesn't look very good, and honestly, the inside is not too terribly dirty, though. Thankfully, it actually clips back in. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at the console itself, and you can see the middle part actually looks decent. You know, it's got some scuffs and scratches and stuff, but nothing that's not too normal. Then here on the bottom, of course, some more sticky stuff. Like, where does PS5 come from? Why is there so much sticky stuff on this PS5? I don't want to touch this thing anymore. Flipping to the back, all of our ports seem to look fine, and honestly looks like it hasn't been used a whole lot, so even more confusing, to be honest. Let's go ahead and plug it in, though, and see what happens. Wait, Ethernet jack is messed up. It doesn't clip into place. Look at this, guys. It slides in and out. You gotta be kidding me. Come on, man. So for comparison's sake, you can see this one's sliding in and out, and this is what should happen here. it clips in and stays put. Like it doesn't, it's got a little bit of wiggle room, but not much. All right, guys, console's plugged in, and I want to point out one more thing that really annoys me. I looked some more at the listing, and you look at the photos in the listing, they clearly do not show a PS5 that is just all gooey and sticky and stuff like this one is. It clearly shows a clean PS5, so like, why am I not getting the PS5 in the pictures or a one that's very similar? Like what? And all right, console's booted up. I want to start by going to the system software and see what version we're on. Then I want to test out the network cable here and see if that sliding it in and out is going to affect things. Oh, yep, there it was. Yeah. Right as I pulled it out, just a little bit, you can see LAN cable not connected. Plug it back in. Now it is connected. Yep, so that's going to be an issue. Great, thanks. But anyways, we're on 10.40, which is fairly new. I'll go ahead and update it anyway, though. All right, guys, let's go ahead and download a game because there's no disk drive here, so I can't test a disk obviously. But let's try out Astro's Playroom here. Wait a second. Booting up Astro's Playroom and it just froze. That's sketch. All right, let's try to do a little jiggle the HDMI port, plug it back in. Yep, still frozen. All right, let's try to turn it off and back on. And oh no, it's just I can't do anything. Wait, is that the same error I saw in some feedback? Hold up. No, it's slightly different. Let me look that one up. Okay, it basically just says there's an error. There's really nothing specific about it. But all right, I'll go ahead and report this, and we'll try to boot it up again and see if it'll work a second time. Okay, it's made it further than last time so far. Cool. Oh, nope, there it goes again. Just froze. It made it like 5 seconds further and then it froze again. All right, well, this PS5 it's broken. It's jacked up. I guess let's turn it off and take the plates off and at least take a look at the inside a little bit just to see what it looks like. All right, guys, the top plate that we already saw was off. This part actually, looks very clean, looks fine. We'll take off the bottom plate as well, which we haven't seen underneath yet, and it also looks pretty much fine. Looks like the warranty seal is still there and everything. There's a little bit of grime and debris in here, but yeah, it looks perfectly fine. Well, this console sucks. Let's leave some feedback. One of the biggest scams of all time. Seriously, like, you should be banned from selling on eBay. Not enough packaging, the photos don't match the console freezes during gameplay. Just horrible. Like, what a waste of my time. Negative feedback all the way. Now, in this box, I should have a digital PS5, and the listing looks pretty normal, but holy crap, the feedback here is some of the wildest feedback I have ever seen. Let me just read it to you. Now, this feedback is specifically about a PS5, and it says, this item came absolutely trashed. Stickers all over it, and it doesn't work. The screen flashes every 5 seconds, it completely blanks out for 30 seconds and then comes back on and turns off. The seller knew exactly what he was selling and sold me garbage anyway. Now I can't get in touch with him for a refund. Do not buy anything from this scammer. P.S. I hope you enjoyed your $350 worth of crack. So that part was crazy, but the reply here is the craziest part. And so the buyer actually responds to his own feedback and says, I would like to apologize for this feedback. I was completely wasted on too much liquor and attacked the seller. I'm a complete ashamed for this, and I apologize. Please don't let my negative feedback affect your decision to purchase items from the seller. So I'm so confused. I can't tell if the seller is bad as well, or if it's only the buyer who's crazy, but let's go ahead and open this box up and see what's inside. I don't think I'm ready for it. Okay, well, pretty good start here. We have an absolute crap ton of packaging here, like literal just rolls of bubble wrap stuffed in there, which is insane, but I'll take it. All right, and finally out to the PS5, and this thing's pretty dirty. It's not horrible, but it's definitely wasn't wiped down. Then here in the middle, what is going on there? What in the world? There's just like speckles all over it. Wait, what? Hold on. What is going on with the top of this thing? Is that a sticker on this? What? No, it's just how it is. That's really weird. And yeah, I'm looking at the listing, and of course, there's no photos of the top of this thing, so you can't see at all that this thing is just disgusting, which is just awesome. But anyways, we also got, oh my gosh, the bottom is really dirty. Got some marks on it. We got even some chips or just like dents on the side of the faceplate there. And then flipping to the back, holy crap, there's so much dust in the back of this thing. But then most of these ports look fine except for the HDMI, which has a ton of scratches, and it's actually like all dinged up around the port there. I'm not sure if you can see that, but why does it look like that? I don't know, but this thing is really beat up. Let's go ahead and plug it in and see if it even works. All right, plugged in, 3, 2, 1. We got power. All right, console's booted up. Looks like it's not factory reset, so we still got a user 1 here. It looks like there's nothing downloaded here. Let's go ahead and just start with the system software version and see when this thing was last updated. Okay, we're on 11.0, which is the most recent update, and the name is PS5 999. Is that intentional? All right, I'm connected to the internet. I'm trying to sign in now to make sure this thing is not banned or anything. Let's go ahead and verify. And yeah, cool. Should be good there. Let's go ahead and boot up a game and make sure it works. So guys, I've been playing Astro's Playroom for like 10 minutes now and not having any issues at all. It's running fine. It's pushing out some hot air. So we should be good here, but let's go ahead and turn the console off, take the plates off, and take a closer look at it and see if there's anything else suspicious happening here. All right, console off. Let's go ahead and pop this top plate off here. And what in the world? Oh my gosh, that's so dirty. I don't understand. Like, how does a PS5 get this dirty? Are you playing with it in the dirt? Like, I don't know. Are you smoking like 2 inches away from it? Like, even this part right here is just disgusting. It definitely smells like somebody's been smoking around this, doing a little bit of puff. But let's go ahead and see what's on this side here. And same kind of deal. Very dirty plate, especially at the exhaust right there. And just like underneath it, it's got just like, I don't know, like somebody was in here scratching it up like crazy. I just don't understand. And oh wait, this thing's been opened up before. Oh, we can see the warranty seal is gone. Well, somebody put it back after they took it off, which is interesting. So maybe the seller actually cleaned this out on the inside at some point in time, but obviously not before I bought this, but yeah, I don't know. Weird. But guys, I think we're ready to leave some feedback on this one. Conveniently, there were no listing photos of the top of this console where the glossy part was, you know, completely destroyed. But otherwise, at least the console works and isn't horribly dirty. I think this deserves somewhere in the middle, so neutral feedback. So guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I think you'll like this 1-star PS4 video where I bought 1-star PS4s from Amazon, and man, they were rough. Go check it out. Number 11. I won an auction for a custom-built Xbox Series S from eBay, but here's the catch. As soon as I won, the seller canceled my order and then relisted the same Xbox for a higher price. Very scummy. But I did still end up with this custom Xbox, so in this video, we'll check it out, and then I'll take you through my entire interaction with the seller because, oh boy, it's a doozy. Let's get into it. Yeah, can we just talk about the fact that this thing was shipped in a bubble mailer? Just listen to this. Something is rattling around, so I don't think it's still intact. Let's open it up and find out. Wow, that is, oh, it's falling apart. What? Surprise. Let's take a closer look at this thing because what am I looking at? All right, so first of all, it's a Series S, but it's the purple edition, and also there's stuff falling. What is falling out of this thing? There's stuff all over my table. Like, you can't see it, but it's like, that was a little scary. But I guess this thing is 3D printed. It appears so. It's just like a purple 3D print with holes in it on the top. And flipping to the front, we have a continuation of the 3D print. You can even see all of the 3D printed ridges here. And we also have a bunch of little strings kind of popping off. I don't know if you can see these because they're just little tiny strings that you can hardly see. But I mean, like, the 3D print wasn't even cleaned up, which is just, yeah, that's something. Flipping to the side here, we have some rubber feet that I guess were added on. And flipping to the back, you can see it's still partially the normal Series S with the white back. And then the bottom here is like something added on that's like loose and coming out, or partially going in, partially coming out. There's a few little, actually, oh, it is broken right there. Yeah, you can see right there around the screw. It is, yeah, it's literally cracked around it because it was getting banged around in shipping, which is just awesome, man. But yeah, you can see the whole thing is like separating. You can see this part of the 3D print is just caving into the console. I don't know what to do with this info, but let's, I guess let's start by plugging this thing in and see what happens. Oh, and I should mention the listing said it would include a power cord, which, where's my power cord? I'm using my own power cord. So another little addition that wasn't included. Well, let's go ahead and see if this thing turns on. 3, 2, 1. We got power here. We'll see if the fan does something. Oh yeah, fan goes up. Ooh, yay. Let's see if it boots up though. Wait, I can't press the sync button. The sync button doesn't work. Dude, what? Hold on. Okay, so looking at the front of this thing, it's got a sync button here, like a 3D printed one that I guess presses on the actual sync button, but it doesn't function. You gotta press it really hard and then it works, but there's no clicking at all, so that's interesting. We are booted up here. Let's go ahead and I guess sign in and see what this thing can do. All right, yeah, we're booted up and signed in, and we can scroll around the Xbox store, so I would assume this thing is not banned, so that's a good sign. I'm not gonna test anything else with it, but I wanna open this thing up and see what's going on inside of this case, or whatever you wanna call it. So let's go ahead and proceed and do that. All right, guys, so I guess we'll start by taking the bottom off, and I think to do that, I need to take these 3 screws out, especially out of this little post that's broken. So let's do that and see what happens. You know what? I think these posts are broken. Like I'm trying to unscrew them and they don't unscrew. Oh wait, yeah, I can actually see. I can actually see the posts are broken. So this screw right here came out. This screw right here and this screw right here are not coming out because I believe the posts are broken. And let me show you that they actually are. You can kind of tell already. So the whole thing comes apart and you can see literally all the posts are already broken. That's absurd. Well, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this thing. So you can see inside here, it is a pretty interesting 3D print. You have some buttons, I guess, hot glued in there, it looks like, for your sync, and then your power button, of course, up here. And I mean, looking at the top piece here, it's a cool design, it's a cool concept, but like, why is the 3D print quality so low, and why did you try to scam me? And of course, onto this piece over here, you can see, again, all 5 of these posts are broken here. And the crazy part is, this guy messaged me some more on eBay, so let me go ahead and just take you through the whole situation, show you the messages, and just, it's absurd, so let me show you. Now, we'll start here. So I made a YouTube post basically when this happened, just recapping the initial situation, and essentially I won the Xbox for $184.50. Then right after I won, 1, I get an email from eBay saying the seller canceled this order due to the following reason: I'm out of stock or the item is damaged. And I was like, that's a little suspicious. So let me go ahead and check out the eBay seller's page. And sure enough, the first listing that pops up is an Xbox Series S for $229.99, the exact same one. So basically, I won the auction. He didn't like how much it sold for, so he canceled it and then relisted it for $45 higher so he could make some more money. And if you're not familiar with eBay, this is a pretty scummy thing to do, like one of the scummiest things you can do. So let me just explain what I did next and kind of what happened. So just for clarity, this is the listing I won. So $184.50 is how much it sold for, and it says congrats on the big win, meaning that I won the auction. But of course it was canceled, and this is the new listing, $229.99. You can see it's the exact same, and the photos are the same, but like shifted around, which will actually come into play later. Surprisingly, you'll see why. But you know, it only made sense for me to go and make an offer to this guy for $184.50, which is what I won the original auction for. So I went and did that, but it got turned down because the listing sold, and it sold to me. But it was kind of in a roundabout way. I had Danny, who you might know Danny. He's been on the channel a few times. He's on the Spoken Silicon channel. I had him order the Xbox, so it wasn't my same profile. So let me take you back over to the YouTube post that I made a couple weeks ago, because there's a lot of details in the comments that are actually useful. So first thing I saw that really raised some questions is this comment that says, this guy actually had this posted near my area for sale. I messaged him and wanted to buy it. We arranged a date and time and place to meet up. After a day, he messaged me and asked if I could go higher for him. I told him I was already fine with the price we agreed on and didn't want to go higher. He proceeded to tell me I was broke and then blocked me. So I responded to this comment. I never got a reply back, so I don't know how accurate this is, but I think it is accurate because of the next comment and the rest of the situation. So let's go ahead and get into the next part. So next up, this one's a real doozy. I scroll to the bottom of the comments on the same post, and we have a comment here, a very long comment from somebody that says, I'm the seller and wanted to come on here and clarify I was happy about the final bid price and wanted to sell it, but I had it up on Facebook Marketplace and had it sold the day before. So the first sentence there confirms this guy actually did have it locally, so the other guy that commented probably was correct. And next thing this guy says is, I will have you know that the other listing was already up because I had 2 of them. Yeah, you had 2 of them. Okay. Next up he says, if you notice, the first picture of the second listing has a different orientation than the first listing. Bro. Hold on, you're telling me that it's a different Xbox because your first photo is a different orientation? Are you playing games with me right now? What? Hold on. So, okay, so before we keep going, let me just show you some comparisons now. Okay, so here on the left side is the auction I won. Here on the right side is the second Xbox that he listed for a higher price. So let's go ahead and step through these photos and kind of explain what's going on here. So you can see, sure enough, first photos are different orientations. That means nothing though, because watch this. If you go here on the Xbox that I won, you can find another photo that's literally the exact same. Like, look at it, you can just examine it. Like, those little specks there are exactly the same as the specks over there. The hand placement is the same. The stuff in the background is the same. Just like, you can pause and look at it if you want to, but they're exactly the same. Then we find another photo that's exactly the same. Then we find another photo that's exactly the same. Then we find another photo that's exactly the same. Then we find a 5th photo that's exactly the same. And what do you know? A 6th one exactly the same. And last but not least, this one's exactly the same. So this guy is trying to tell me that it's a different Xbox Series S because he reordered the photos. He continues to BS me the entire time. So let's go back into his comment and continue reading because it gets worse. And he says, to be honest, I wasn't happy with the build quality on this revision, you don't say, and was in the middle of perfecting the design before listing any more, if any at all. Okay, and then he says, that is why I canceled the listing and I hope to clear things up and there is no bad blood. Hold on. Okay, so now you've contradicted yourself. He first says he canceled because it was listed on Facebook Marketplace and it sold the day before. He then says the other listing was up earlier because he actually had 2 of them. So why couldn't you just take that one and ship it to me if you had 2 of them? And now he is saying he didn't sell it to me because he wasn't happy with the build quality. And he said, I've also messaged the person who won the bid on eBay to let them know it was out of stock, which is me. He did message me that after he canceled it. That's when we step into the next thing, which is the messages. All right, so first here you can see, of course, his message that he canceled it. Then you can see he said, if you would like, I'm able to make one custom to you color-wise. And at this point, I had received the Xbox because Danny bought it. It's here, I'm filming it, and I'm trying to like make him realize that I actually have his Xbox. So I sent him a photo of the Xbox on my table here, as you can see. And I say, can you make one like this? And he goes, no, that is my old model. I'm working on a better one at the moment. So he hasn't realized that I have his Xbox at this point. And then I say, what is better about it? And he sends a photo of a new one, which arguably, I don't want to say it, but looks worse. I mean, he said it's textured, but it's like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it, but he sends a photo and says, new model hides layer lines, has more of a finished texture. And I say, does it come with a power cord? Oh yeah, because the one he shipped me didn't come with a power cord. And he says, not unless you ask ahead of time. And I said, I am asking ahead of time. And he proceeds to send me a screenshot of the listing saying, we'll throw in a power cord, but that's the same screenshot from the listing that I bought, or that Danny bought, and did not have a power cord included. So what does that tell me? And he says, I'll be sure to throw one in then. And at this point, I'm just trying to string it along. I just say, what about an HDMI? He says, no, I don't add those, sorry. I said, I will pay $10 extra. And at this point, he says, I'm aware you do YouTube and have a website you sell on. Okay. He says, if you want, I can make you a few different colors. And he sends a picture of an orange one. I don't know what you're getting at, but all right. He says, this is my first prototype. I said, can you make one rainbow colored? And he says, dude, that would be so cool, which I guess it would, but I don't know. I'm just making conversation at this point for him to try to realize what's going on. And then he says, yeah. And then I'm trying to still get him to realize that I have his Xbox. So I sent him a photo of his little label in the corner of the Xbox I have and said, and put this in really large text on the front. And he says, did you want to put your gamer tag on it? And I said, no, I just want whatever this label is on the front. And then this is the part where, like, I'm sorry, either he has no idea what's going on, or he's playing 4D or 5D chess at this point, and I'm like, I'm just way out of it. But he says, did you want to collab? Well, unintentionally, we are collabing now, but he says, people love drama. We have already started out great. What? Oh my gosh. I read that. I was dying laughing. I don't even know how to respond to that. Like, at this point, I'm just assuming, like I said, he's playing 5D chess, and I'm an idiot, or the opposite. I don't know, man. So at this point, I'm like, I got to get him to know that I have it. I don't know if he even realizes at this point that I have his Xbox. And I say, only if you ship me one in bubble mailer, and I still need an HDMI as well. And he says, I'm glad you like the bubble mailer, which I'm assuming at this point, he realizes I have his Xbox that he shipped in the bubble mailer. But guys, it doesn't stop there. Let me show you. Danny went in and put a return request because, you know, the corner was cracked on the Xbox like you guys saw earlier. And he responds back and says, nice try. I have pictures from you that show it in perfect condition. Mind you, Danny has not sent this guy any messages at all, so he doesn't. And next up he says, but seriously, if you want me to believe it came in damaged, why wouldn't you have messaged me as soon as it was delivered instead of waiting over a week? And he says, I don't see why you felt the need to open a case if it was really damaged upon arrival. So now he's just trying to say that we're lying to him. And so those were in the like item not as described case on eBay. And then it gets into messages. He starts sending messages here. And you can see the first thing he sends are some screenshots that he had with me. Again, a different eBay account. He says it was clearly dropped. These pictures these pictures take the day it came in the mail and sent to me by the person who you sent them to. And then Danny replies back saying, those photos you're showing aren't from my account, so I don't know how that's relevant at all. This is the packaging the console arrived in, so it really shouldn't be surprising that it arrived damaged. But it keeps going. He says, you are right, except this is the only on I have that the Schultech stamp, and I have pictures from the day it was delivered to your address. Not sure how you know them, but it was clear that was intact when it arrived. So first of all, this is a confusing sentence. But what really stood out to me is the fact that he says, this is the only one I have with the Schultech stamp. Hold on. Okay, so you said earlier you have two different Xboxes, right? That's why you have two listings. But both of the listings here, the one I won and the one that Danny won, both say Schultech on them. So do you have one console or do you have two? He just keeps lying. Like he just continues to lie. What is going on? But back to the messages, Danny says, I mean, I can get eBay involved, but I don't really think that needs to go that far. I have proof it arrived damaged, aka the overhead video of this being unboxed. He says, do you have proof it somehow didn't? And then he just continues to send screenshots of my messages to him and says, explain how he would know that it was shipped in then. And then Danny responds back, I don't know what you do for other orders from other people, man. You're acting really weird, LOL. And then he finally backs off. He's like, I'm sorry, dude. I just have everybody claiming things and lying about stuff, and I lose money because of it. Wait. Hold on. Everybody complaining about things and everybody lying. The only common denominator here is you. Maybe you're the one lying, as we've seen throughout this video. Maybe you're the one shipping stuff in bubble mailers that shouldn't be shipped in bubble mailers. I mean, come on, man. And then next up he says, but seriously, if you want me to believe that it came in damaged, why wouldn't you have messaged me as soon as it delivered instead of waiting a week? I don't see why you felt the need to open a case that was really damaged upon arrival. Sure enough, next day, there's actually a shipping label. So we have not sent it back yet, but this there might be more to the story after we send it back. I don't know. Maybe I don't get a refund. So I'll see you guys next time. Number 10. So the Switch 2 just came out, and while you probably know you can play Switch 1 games on the Switch 2, you might be wondering what happens when you play Switch 2 games on the Switch 1. So in this video, we'll put this scenario to the test in a few different ways and see what happens. Alright guys, so I have my Switch 2 here, and we'll first do a baseline test just to kind of show you what happens when you play a normal Switch 2 game on a Switch 2. So we have Mario Kart World here. Let's go ahead and pop it in the cartridge tray here. So we pop it in, and you can see Mario Kart World will move to the front, You can go ahead and boot it up and it'll play. And next up we have Hogwarts Legacy, which is another Switch 2 game, but it's actually a game key card, which means it doesn't have the data on the card. You just pop it in and it'll download content from the internet. So let's go ahead and see what happens on this for another baseline test. So we pop it in and it says to use this game key card, you need to download data from the internet. So we'll go ahead and do that. Then it'll pop up at the front again, just like a regular game, but you got to download everything. So it'll be interesting to try these two different scenarios on a Switch 1. And let me just show you the next thing that works that kind of brings in some more questions. So we have a Switch 1 game here, and as you can see, it does fit in the Switch 2 cartridge. So we wonder if you pop this in here, and yeah, it works there. So now you wonder, a Switch 2 and a Switch 1 cartridge are the same size. So what happens when you put a Switch 2 cartridge in the Switch 1? Maybe especially for the game key card. I mean, you just download it from the internet, so like why wouldn't that work? So of course we'll try that out in a little bit, but we first have a couple other ways to try playing Switch 2 games on the Switch 1. So let me show you those scenarios. So guys, next up we'll try out Game Share. And in case you don't know what Game Share is, it's pretty similar to DS Download Play from, about 15, 20 years ago. When you put a game in your DS, you press Download Play, and you got a friend that doesn't have the game who can actually connect to your console and you can play together without you both having the game. So similar feature here for the Switch 2, and it says you can play together using software that supports Game Share. Now, I have a Switch 1 game in here so far, so Super Mario Odyssey, that apparently does support Game Share. So we'll go ahead and start with that, boot it up, try it out, and we'll try to Game Share to our Switch 1 and see how it works. And then next up, we have another game that's only for the Switch 2 that I'll try to game share from the Switch 2 to the Switch 1 and see if that works. So that's essentially a workaround to play Switch 2 games on the Switch 1, which is actually a pretty cool feature. So let's go ahead and test these out. All right, so Super Mario Odyssey pulled up. We'll go to Resume 2-player, which I believe is where Game Share is. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so you have Game Share over local play. You also have Game Share over Game Chat, so you can play like online. Now, I believe that's only for 2 Switch 2s, but we'll try out Game Share plus local play. So we start Game Share there, and then we'll pull up our Switch OLED down here, and you can see at the bottom we have Game Share as well. So let's go ahead and pull that up. We'll press Join Game Share on our Switch OLED, and then, oh, there it goes. Just pops straight up. You can press Join Game Share. Okay, press Start up here. And oh yeah, just like that, it pulls straight up. That's actually pretty sick. Now, of course, the first downside I see is that it's actually cropping in your screen some. So we have a good finger's width worth of empty space here on the side. And same with our OLED down here. There's just some black bars on the side as well. And that's because we have these this connection details at the top where it tells you your connection strength. And just testing these out side by side, you can see there's really no lag, at least visually. Like I can see the exact same screen on the top and bottom here on the Switch 2 and the Switch OLED. And of course, the controls up here are not laggy. Let's try the controls on the Switch OLED down here, see if those are laggy at all. And no, they seem perfectly fine as well. Now let's see what happens when we end the session. So if you go back, it says Game Share is currently suspended. Press close here, it'll just end it. Okay. Now guys, next up I want to try playing an actual Switch 2 game via Game Share. So basically we'll have the Switch 2 game on the Switch 2, and then we'll be able to do the Game Share via the Switch OLED. Also try the old Switch as well, just like the OG Switch, to see if it's any different in terms of experience. So the thing to start with here is the fact that there's actually barely any games that support Game Share, and even fewer that are only like Switch 2 exclusive games. I think the only Switch 2 exclusive games that support Game Share are Fast Fusion, Split Fiction, and Super Mario Party Jamboree Switch 2 Edition, which is like kind of a Switch 2 game, but it's because it's a Switch 2 edition, but it actually originally came out on the Switch. So I'm not quite sure why it's so limited, and I'm actually not even sure if you can stream the Switch 2 games to the regular Switch here, but we're about to find out. So I have Fast Fusion here, which will boot up. So we go to multiplayer here, as you can see. We'll go to Game Share, and then down here, of course, again, we'll go down to click on Game Share, pull it up, join Game Share, and maybe it'll find it one day. There we go. Okay, cool. So now we're pulled up here, and again, it looks like similar to the last Game Share, but I'm curious if this will run more poorly because it's a Switch 2 game versus a Switch 1 game. And at first glance, I do see a little bit of lag between the screens just by scrolling through. It's not much, but it's noticeable. Clicking through here as well, I see like it's just a little bit, not much again, but it is noticeable to me. But anyways, that's just using the Switch 2 controls. Let's try the regular Switch controls. Oh yeah, that's actually, oh, there's actually a decent amount of lag on that. Like, let's try pressing both buttons at the same time. So it's hard to tell, but there's definitely a little bit of lag with the green arrow there. I don't know if you guys can see that on screen. But anyways, let's go ahead and select a character here. And I guess that's a good thing to point out here is like, I think the Game Share here is essentially streaming the game from your Switch 2 to the Switch 1. Whereas DS Download Play, I think you were actually like natively playing the game on the other DS that did not have the game. So that was a bit of a better experience. This so far is cool, but this, I didn't even realize this game was so low resolution. But anyways, as you can see here on the Switch 2, it's pretty responsive as we expect because it's playing on the Switch 2. But let's try the Game Shared console down here. So the OLED, yeah, there's definitely some lag there. It's not horrible, but yeah, it's definitely worse than you would like to see. But anyways, it is cool that you can actually, this is straight up legitimately playing Switch 2 games on a Switch 1, which is cool. But guys, next up I want to try this on the original Switch to see if the experience is any better, any worse. Because I know the network card on the original Switch, it was pretty crappy in my experience. So let's go ahead and try this out. All right, here we go, join in Game Share. Let's go ahead and see how this is. So first I'll start with the scrolling here, and it's about the same. I say like there's maybe a tad more lag on the original Switch. And honestly, the picture quality on this is it's pretty rough, especially with this text. It's real blurry. And yeah, playing here seems fine. It's roughly the same as the OLED, maybe a tad more lag. Again, it's noticeable, but not horrible. Now, I don't know if you guys saw that, but just a second ago, I did freeze for like, you know, a quarter of a second. Oh, it just went again too. So yeah, I don't know. It's not bad, but it's just streaming to another console. But you know, it works. You can play Switch 2 games on the Switch 1 via game share, and it works. Let's go ahead and go back and try some actual Switch 2 cartridges on the Switch 1 and frankly see what happens. So we're gonna try this on the OLED and the original Switch just to see if there's any difference here. So if we start by taking a look at the size difference between the Switch 2 and the Switch 1 cartridge, you can see they're the same height here and same width as well. And the thickness seems to be about the same as well. And then the back looks pretty much exactly the same as well. So yeah, it should fit just fine. So let's go ahead and take our Switch 2 cartridge, and actually let me just show you with the Switch 1, we'll go ahead and pop this slot open, pop the Switch 1 in, and of course it'll pop up at the front right there. Okay, so now we'll pop in Mario Kart World here to see what happens, and yep, it clicks right in, and immediately says Nintendo Switch 2 software cannot be played on the system, and it links you to a game card error right there online. So it is cool to give you an actual error message here. Now I do wonder, what would happen if we put a Switch 2 game in a Switch 1, but it was like an old software version, like before the Switch 2 was released? Does it know it's a Switch 2 game? We'll try that out here in just a minute, but first I want to try popping in our game key card from Hogwarts Legacy. So this same game exists for the Switch 1, so you'd think you could like maybe pop this in and it'll also download the game. I really don't see why they couldn't make that a thing. Now, will it actually work? We'll go ahead and see, and you pop it in and it says the game card could not be read. Please remove and reinsert it. Okay, so that's weird. It doesn't even recognize it as a Switch 2 game. It just says it can't be read. And yep, still the same thing. Oh, okay, so the game key cards are so crappy, they're not even recognized as Switch 2 games. They're just straight up like some sort of license. That's so jank. Let's try it on the regular Switch as well. All right, so first of all, Mario Kart World, and pop it in. It clicks in. It says the Switch 2 software, just like the Switch OLED. Okay, then we'll pop in Hogwarts Legacy, which again is the game key card without the actual game data on it. You pop it in, and it says same thing. Yeah, game card could not be read. Not even registered as a Switch 2 cartridge. That's so jank. But guys, next up we'll take these two games, pop them in an old Switch that's not on the latest system update, and see what it recognizes them as. Okay, so here I have a Switch Lite, and you can see immediately it is not on the latest software update because there's no game share button down here. So let's go ahead and pop in Mario Kart World and see what happens here. Pop it in, it does click in, and it says nothing. Wait, what? Hold on, just straight up nothing. One more time here. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Now, I imagine Hogwarts Legacy, it might actually recognize this as a Switch 1 game like the last one and say it just can't be read. So let's go ahead and give that a go and see what happens. And nope, never. Oh no, there it is. Yeah. Okay. So ooh, that's kind of sketch. Okay. So these things are so cheap. They don't even use Switch 2 hardware. They're just I guess whatever probably the same PCB as the Switch 1 had, and they threw the license on there so you can download it from the internet. So like, why wouldn't this work on the Switch 1? It really should. So I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something there, but that seems super sketch to me. Now, one more thing I want to try, guys. I have a fake game. Which if you want to see more fake games that I tried on the Switch 2, it's a wild experience. I'll put the video on the screen right now, but let's go ahead and see if we can pop this one into the Switch OLED, or excuse me, the Switch Lite. I had issues in the last time I tried this, so hopefully it doesn't break any. Oh no, that doesn't feel good. Let's pull that out. All right, go check out the video if you want to see it because it was wild. But guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And again, check out the fake Switch 2 games video here. Wild stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Number 9. Amazon is a really sketchy place to buy video games with a common theme of very high prices and crappy sellers, but the worst part is the massive number of 1-star reviews. So in this video, I'll put these 1-star reviews to the test on 4 different PS4 consoles and see if they deserve it. Now we'll start with this refurbished PS4 console that I paid $175 for that's supposed to be in excellent condition, but man, the reviews, some of the worst I've ever seen. We've got Christoph saying he found candy inside the console. We've also got Elizabeth saying her console had rust and corrosion. And worst of all, JS received a smashed third-party controller. So guys, let's see what's in this box. All right, well, not a great start. We've got a nice third-party controller. And by the way, this is supposed to be in excellent condition. We're about to find out though if it is. I mean, I wouldn't call that excellent. It's fine, but it is clearly very scratched up. And Amazon even says on their website that 12 inches away, you shouldn't be able to see scratches. And I definitely see scratches from like 2 feet away. So I'm not quite sure that fits the description. And then the back is, well, it's never been opened because there's 2 warranty seals still on it. So I'm not really sure that they refurbished anything. It's one of those good old refurbished consoles. Yeah, now otherwise the outside looks pretty clean, so it appears they actually did wipe it down, which is good to see. Except for, well, there's a big old dust bunny in the front USB port, which is again not good for a refurbished console. But let's go ahead and plug it in and see if it even turns on. Okay, so it's turning on, but I did not hear a beep when it turned on. That's not a great sign. Yeah, so definitely on now, but I'm concerned about the beeping. Let me try to turn it off and see if it beeps. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, as you can see, it's turning off now, but the sound is broken. Oh my goodness, first thing I tested in this video is broken. You got to be kidding me. Refurbished. Excellent. Double market value. I don't. Wait. And now, as I was pressing the eject button, it started out really, really quiet, and then over time it got a little bit louder. What is going on? All right, well anyway, it appears the beeping is working and I'm booted up and set up now. So let's go ahead and explore this thing a bit, test all the features and make sure the rest of it works. All right, we're attempting to sign into PSN right now. Let's see if it's banned. And nope, we are good. Now next up, let's throw a disc inside because I'm really curious if this will work because I saw lots of reviews of people saying games don't work or games don't pull in. So let's go ahead and try to see if it pulls in here. And in classic fashion, the rollers are garbage. Look, I even give it some help. It's not now it just stopped. Oh man, yeah, it's refurbished all right. All right, now let's boot the game up and make sure it actually reads. All right, guys. Well, otherwise, playing in a race, it seems to be running fine. The console itself, it is getting pretty loud, but that's just kind of normal PS4 things. It seems to work mostly now, but it's a bit rough for refurbished. Let's leave a review. All right, guys. So hold on. Before we leave this review, I just noticed we need to open this thing up. Let me just show you. Now, a little flashback here. You saw the dust bunny that was in that USB port, and I decided to pop the side piece off and take a look at the hard drive, just to take a look. And guys, you won't believe what I saw here. Okay, so first of all, that's pretty dirty, not horrible, but oh my goodness. As you start getting a little bit closer into those little crevices there, you can just see some major dust bunnies. So guys, we gotta open this thing up, take a look at the inside, and just see how bad it is. And remember, we paid extra for this because it's refurbished. Refurbished. Oh my goodness, that hard drive is filthy. Reminds me of the Desert PS3 hard drive. Look at that. I can draw a smiley face on it. Oh my goodness. This is about to be bad. Oh my goodness. Just popping off the bottom. This piece right here is already filthy. But holy crap, look at that fan, guys. That thing is caked. Holy crap. I mean, we might have a Desert PS3 situation on our hand, guys. Let's leave our review because it's, not good. So the console does turn on, read games, and the controller wasn't busted, which is good. But the power and eject button noises don't always work. The console is slow to pull in games. It's all scratched up, and the inside is disgusting. So like, how is this considered excellent condition or refurbished? Just absurd. 1 star. Now here I have a refurbished limited edition Spider-Man PS4 that I paid over $300 for, and I'm already a bit concerned. Let me explain why. So there are multiple reviews here saying it was poor shipping and handling, and sure enough, I have a hole in the side of my box. So like, how did the same thing happen to me? Not quite sure. Then we have people saying the controller doesn't work and they didn't get the game. And worst of all is this review right here that says there were too many scratches, couldn't run for 15 minutes without crashing, and they sent the wrong controller. So yeah, not good. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Oh man, we're already starting out with the wrong controller. I can already tell. Yep, it's a red and black controller instead of the red with the white thumbsticks and the white buttons, which you should have with the Spider-Man PS4 controller. And also, this thing is literally separating right there. Is this even OEM? It looks like it is, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did something janky with it, so we'll keep an eye out for that. Then we have a charging cable, HDMI, and our power cable. And man, I am concerned for this console. I'm not quite sure I want to see what's going on here, but let's find out. Hold on, guys. This is the same weird baggy packaging that I had with my last limited edition console I got from Amazon, which is a Minecraft console that they sent me a knockoff shell. So that's concerning. Hopefully this is a real Spider-Man shell. Ooh, okay. Okay, top is not horrible. It's got some scratches on it, but honestly not terrible for a all glossy console. And then the bottom here looks pretty good. All the rubber feet are there. Oh, that's a little concerning. So here on the back we have a warranty seal, but it looks like it was taken off and put back on like a little bit crooked. Maybe that's just how it is from factory, but that's just my spidey senses tingling right there. So let's go ahead and yeah, otherwise it actually doesn't look too bad. Let's go ahead and plug it in and see what happens. Also just noticed yeah, no game. The listing shows it comes with the game, so that's rough. Come on, man. All right guys, plug it in, let's see if it turns on. Okay, we got life. All right guys, console is booted up. Let me go ahead and set this thing up and we'll do some more testing. This is a knockoff controller. Hold on, I just noticed, like, this feels really close, but it's just, something is off about it. And if you look close enough, you can see the share button right there, and the options button is completely jacked up. It's got like weird font and stuff. And hold on, I actually have a red controller to compare to. Ah, perfect. So it'll be really hard to tell, but the logo there is a little bit off compared to this logo here on the OEM one. Also, those arrows are a lot brighter on this controller than the arrows over here. And then also the font is different on the triggers, and as I showed you, the font above these buttons right here is different as well. Dude, that's so scummy. It's one thing to make a third-party controller controller that looks, you know, completely different than the OEM controller, but it's just messed up to make a knockoff that looks exactly like the OEM and you're like clearly trying to trick people. I don't have any sympathy for it. It's that's rough. So let's go ahead and update this thing and sign in so we can make sure this thing's not banned or anything like that, because I don't know, this is super sketch with a controller, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing some other sketchy stuff here. All right, signing in here. Let's see what happens. Okay, should be good there. Now, you guys probably think it's goofy that I always check for a console being banned, but I've been banned a few too many times, so it's always worth checking. And now, guys, let's go ahead and throw a disc inside. I got a feeling this thing's not gonna pull it in very smoothly, but you never know. Maybe it's actually refurbished. Let's go ahead and try it out. Okay, it's not bad. Okay, I see you. Better be good for a $300 console, man. I mean, come on. All right, guys, so playing the game a little bit, console seems fine, but the controller, you can just feel as you're playing, especially with these bumpers right here. These things feel horrible, and they like rub up against the plastic on the side. But otherwise, the console surprisingly is actually working fine. Let's go ahead and eject this disc though, and make sure it's a smooth exit. There's a little hiccup there, but not bad. So console is actually good, but for the price I paid for it, not quite sure. Let's leave a review. The console turns on and works fine, but that's where the positives end. They sent the wrong controller, and to make matters worse, it was a straight up fake controller. Like, they're trying to trick people with that. And the icing on the cake, no game included, despite the listing showing the game. 3 stars. All right, guys, so here is a refurbished PS4 Pro that I paid $240 for, and the reviews are honestly kind of funny. Now, of course, we have the ones talking about, you know, getting the wrong power cable, you know, dead on arrival, which are really bad. But guys, this one here is interesting. It's from Derek, and he says, for a renewed unit, it looks bad. Food, and I don't know what, stuck to the outside housing and scratches all over the unit, so I'm hoping mine doesn't have food attached to it. That's sketch. And this is icing on the cake. This guy says, hard drive was out of the machine. Good. And look at the photo there. That's rough. But let's go ahead and open this box up and see what's actually inside. All right, and sure enough, yeah, I think that's the round power cord. I guess it depends on which PS4 Pro it is. We'll find out, but I'm like 99% sure that's the wrong power cord. Cool. HDMI cable, that's fine. And our PS4 controller is just smushing the side of the box here, so the analog sticks have probably been getting pushed. Wow. It's another one of these knockoffs, dude. At least for this one, they're not copying the PlayStation logo there, so you know it's fake. But honestly, still, like, I'd say 75% of your just average gamers are gonna have no idea this is not a real PS4 controller if they've never used one before. And what? Dude, this is like, there's no way. There's no way I just got the same situation as this guy talking about the hard drive sticking out of the console. And sure enough, I opened the PS4 up and the hard drive's not sticking out, but they straight up removed the hard drive cover, and it's just gone. And mind you guys, I paid $240 for this, and I think it was considered excellent condition. You're missing entire trim pieces. That's absurd. And oh, it actually is the right power cable, so it is a different model of the PS4 Pro than what I'm used to. So power cable does fit there. That's good. Let's go ahead and flip to the top here, and the top is it's fine. It's got some scratches and things, but nothing horrible. Front is fine as well. And then here on the bottom, we're actually missing a rubber foot there in the corner. Not a huge deal, but it'll probably rock back and forth now. Not horrible, but I expect a little better for excellent condition. But guys, hold up. Before we plug this thing in, I'm really curious about this hard drive now, because like, what do they do to this thing? Let me go ahead and just take it out and see what's in the slot. Is that right? Yeah, never mind. I looked it up. That's just how it is in the PS4 Pro. Just different than the regular PS4. And also, there's some suspicious like dried up liquid or something here, so that's a little concerning. But let's go ahead and plug this console in, and hopefully it works. All right, guys, plugged in. Hopefully it is not dead on arrival like a lot of other reviews indicated. So let's try this out. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, of course, PS4 was not turned off properly. All right, great start. But let's go ahead and try to set it up now. And oh, it's already got user 1 on here. That's funny. And we do have user 1, which I guess is just the generic profile they use to test the console out. I hope they tested it out. Let's go ahead and check out the storage as well. And yeah, we got a terabyte, which matches up. That's good to see. Okay, let's go ahead and pop the disk drive open. Or I guess I should say pop a disk inside the disk drive and see what that bad boy does. Okay. And yeah, that loaded up. We'll test it out here in a second, but first I want to check out our network settings and connect to the internet and make sure this thing's not banned or anything. And yeah, we are good to go there. Now let me boot up my game, which is now, wow, halfway across the world because of all the ads on there. Let's go ahead and boot this up though and play for a little bit and make sure it actually works and stays running and doesn't overheat. So guys, been playing it for a little bit, did a whole race here, and there is hot air coming out the back, and the thing is running just fine. It is a little bit loud, but that's just kind of normal for PS4 Pro. So honestly, not bad as a console, other than this, I still don't understand. How did that happen? Where's my trim piece? Come on, man. But guys, I think we have enough info here to leave our review. This console was weird. Like, how is the hard drive cover missing? How does that equate to excellent condition? Also, I got a fake controller, which is unfortunate. You know, otherwise, the console works, and at least mine didn't have food stuck to it like Derek's did. 3 stars. Now guys, here I have a refurbished PS4 that's the Last of Us themed, and the whole listing and situation is really strange. Let me just explain. So I paid $220 for this, and you can see the photo shows that it comes with the game, 2 controllers, and the console, and maybe the box. I don't know why this is the photo that they used here, but that's only the beginning. We have reviews saying that right out of the box, the controller was faulty, and this person said, I'm really upset I spent $400 and my game didn't even work. And then what really hits home with me is Brandon here, who says the delivery guy decided it was a great idea to throw it over the fence with 2 dogs so they could chew it up. And guys, if you take a closer look at the box I have here, this thing looks horrible. And mind you, this is like premium renewed products from Amazon. This is not like your average Joe on eBay. This is somebody that had to apply to sell in the Amazon renewed program. So sketchy all around. I can't imagine what's in here, but let's find out. All right, what? What am I looking at? First of all, we have a couple of, oh wow, we actually have the game. Yo, let's go. They included The Last of Us Remastered here. Okay, that's cool. Also a extremely dirty copy of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. And there's also a note on the back of an envelope. Important, please read. Thank you for choosing something for your gaming needs. The console has been cleaned and tested for your benefit. The package materials are made of reusable or recyclable materials. I encourage you to do the same. Okay, so first of all, there's reusing packaging, and then there's sending out an absolutely smashed up box. That's, I don't know, 2 different things, but let's see what's inside of here. Now, to be fair, there is a ton of packaging here, and oh my goodness. That controller is rough. By the way, these are, okay, so hold on. Okay, so first of all, we do have 2 controllers, which is actually really surprising, and I'm glad to see that. But this one controller is beat to crap. Like, the joysticks are just like falling apart. Mind you, this is an excellent renewed product from Amazon, and this is the controller I get. At least it's OEM, so I give them that. We also have the blue one here that is, I guess, fine. It looks like there's paint splatter on it. Also, it's very dirty down here. It definitely was not cleaned. There's also the sticker missing on the back, which is not a big deal, but it's just interesting that they're missing on both controllers. Yeah, taking a closer look, I think these are both OEM. If they're not, there's some darn good fakes. But let's go ahead and open up the console packaging and see what's inside. Bro, what? Hold on, you can already see the side. It's just like a paint splatter or something all over it. What? I mean, to be fair, they used a crap ton of bubble wrap, which is good to see. But the console is not cleaned in the slightest. Oh my goodness. That thing is beat to crap. There's just dust everywhere, like it wasn't even wiped down once. And they had the audacity to include a note that says it was cleaned. But I immediately opened it up, and this thing is just like, it's not filthy, but there's just grime all over this thing, like it clearly wasn't wiped down at all. And then really the worst part is you flip to this side, and there's just like paint splatter all over it. What how does this equate to excellent condition and refurbished? I will never know. Also, we are missing a rubber foot there, which is like, whatever, not a huge deal, but it just adds up. And the back looks fine. It's never been opened up before, clearly, because there's 2 warranty seals. And you can see some dust and grime in the back, which is, I mean, it's refurbished, so you expect it to be cleaned, but yeah, apparently not. Let me go ahead and pop this bad boy off and see what it looks like underneath. I expect it's, holy crap. You can see that's filthy there. And then just take a little gander at that hard drive right there. That's a super zoom. You can see just disgusting. Let's just pull this hard drive out, and oh my goodness, it's just coated. Oh my gosh, there's some more, oh my gosh. You can kind of see it right there on the edge there. You can just start to see the disgustingness build up. And really the point in showing this is the fact that if you have this much dust on the outside where the hard drive is, you can only imagine how much dust is in that fan. I mean, we saw earlier how much dust was in that other fan, so this one looks worse. Actually, I didn't even show the front of the console. There's just like, literally just like ingrained grime into there that's coming off of my fingers now. Like, I don't understand how you call this cleaned. 3, 2, 1. Wait, the eject button was broken. You've got to be kidding me. Dude, I'm gonna leave this note here just to remind you guys that this person was trying to cover up their horrendous selling flaws by including a nice little note. Just atrocious. There's already a profile on it. We got Kaylee Moon here. This dude straight up bought this at a flea market and then immediately flipped it on Amazon. Like, that's definitely what happened here. But I don't understand, because for Amazon renewed stuff, you have to be approved, and you have to show like $50,000 worth of invoices or something along those lines. Last time I looked into it, so like it's not like an easy process to get into. I don't know, man, but there's a bunch of games downloaded here. We got like, this is not even a game, it's just a disc that's been in here at some point. And yeah, wait. Now it starts working. Oh man, this is strange. Let's check out the whole library, I guess, and see what this person has. Some random apps, some random games, whatever. Let's go back and check out Plants vs. Zombies. Maybe that'll boot up. Hey, it is booting up, and it looks like something else just installed in the background. So this is so random. This console sucks, but we got free games with it, including 2 free physical games. Let's go ahead and toss these in and see if they work. So first, I bet this thing's gonna be slow to pull in, but yeah, like it's fine, not great. Also, oh my gosh, the options button is broken. It's literally broken, you can't press it at all. Oh wait, there it is. It got unstuck finally. Wow, if it's that sticky, I don't know if I want to use this controller. Let's try the blue one maybe. Maybe that's a little better. All right, well, game is loaded up. Let me go ahead and actually start it up though. All right, guys, well, I played for like 15 minutes and this thing is not overheated yet. It did go jet engine, full 100% jet engine mode for like 12 of those 15 minutes. But to be honest, that's partially just normal PS4 stuff on games like this. And overall, I'm not really sure what to say about this console. It actually fully works, but refurbished my butt, man. This is unacceptable for $200 from Amazon. I think we're ready to leave our review. You know, $50 from a flea market, I'd be fine with it. But for this console to be refurbished from Amazon for $220, the state of this thing is just absurd. Also, the audacity to include a personal note saying the console was clean, but with one look you can tell it was not clean at all. Just embarrassing for Amazon to allow stuff like this to be sold. 1 star. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If there's another 1-star console you want me to test out, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know. But guys, I will see you next time. Number 8. I bought 2 hacked Xbox 360 consoles from viewers of the channel, and in this video, we're going to test them out and see what kind of nonsense they can do. Now, the first console is supposed to be dual NAND, which is apparently like 2 Xbox 360 consoles inside of one, which like, what? And also the second console, like, I can't even explain it. You'll just have to see it for yourself. But guys, let's start with the dual NAND console here. All right, so pulling the console out, and at first glance, it actually looks like a very normal 360 Slim. But guys, I guess let's go ahead and just plug this thing in and see what happens. All right, so 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so a few things going on. First of all, we just booted up into the Freestyle Dash. We also have some LEDs here around the fan, which we'll take a closer look at here in a second. But let me go ahead and just turn this disk drive, or turn the console back off and turn it back on and let you hear that noise one more time. Alright, so off. Is that not the... Wait, one more time. Turn it on. Dude, that's the yellow light of death noise from the PS3. That's awesome. What about the disk drive? Hold on, guys. It's gonna be something Nintendo maybe? Yo, it is. Actually, that's sick. Listen to that. Yo. Dude, we got the Nintendo PlayStation Xbox here. Let's go ahead and I guess just start by syncing this controller up and scroll around here and see what's on Freestyle Dash. So in case you haven't seen this before, it's kind of like the NXE, or at least it looks like the NXE, but it's hacked. It's got cool stuff on it. You got Xbox Live Arcade, you got Xbox 360 games, you got homebrew, Xbox Classic, and emulators. Now let's go ahead and just scroll through and see what is preloaded on this bad boy. Yo, we got all the Call of Duty games, at least most of them. We got Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 2, and I love the scrolling interface. I'm actually not sure if I've seen it specifically like this with the cool cover art on the front and back, and then even got NCAA Football 14. Let's also go back and we'll check out the Xbox Live Arcade here. I'm not sure if we got any arcade games. Nope, nothing there. Maybe some homebrew. There we go. So we had Aurora dashboard, got Dash Launch, Ignore, Simple 360, NAND Flasher, Zell Launch, XM360. So all that is pretty normal except for Ignore. I feel like I can't ignore this. Let's go ahead and play Ignore and see what happens. Hopefully that doesn't brick the console, because that would be bad, but game could not start. All right, so now we're back in the main menu and it's got just some random profiles. Sure, why not? Guys, let's go ahead and pop a game inside and just make sure the disk drive actually works. All right. Gets me every time. Let's pop this disk inside. And yes, it does work, except that it shows... Wait, what? I have MW2 in there, but it shows the Call of Duty 4 symbol there, which is interesting. Is that normal? I don't think so. But anyways, it seems to be working. But guys, next up, I want to show you these lights here because they look pretty cool. And then we'll get into the whole dual NAND thing because I haven't tried that yet and I'm not quite sure how to work. All right, so guys, as you can see here, probably the coolest part is we just cycle through colors in the front light. You can see it's green and it'll cycle through to blue and purple and orange and red, that sort of thing. So that's cool to see. And then flipping around to the top here, we have a string of LEDs that appear to just be wrapped around the fan. And on one side, we have kind of a purplish blue hint and then a green hint on this side. And it's subtle, but it's a nice little addition. And now next up, we'll try the dual NAND thing. And I think he said I need to have it off. Otherwise, I might break it if it's still on while I do this. But I think if you hold down the sync button, I think that's what he said, it'll do something. Oh, wait, I just saw something flashing there. Okay, now I'll try to turn it back on and see what happens. Okay, so we still have our goofy noises. Yo, it does work. Okay, so we are on the Xbox 360 development kit, which I have never used before. No idea how to use this, but we're gonna scroll around and check it out. But basically, like I said, this thing is 2 360s in one. You have your modded 360 on one NAND, and then your development kit on the other NAND. And you can basically swap back and forth by holding down the sync button while the console's off. But let's go ahead and scroll through here. So we have XEX/EXE only, X content packages only. Okay, yeah, we got something here so we can actually see our games. And let me just try to boot up Call of Duty Ghosts and see what happens, see if that'll actually work. I had to be signed in with an Xbox Live profile, bro. Okay, so now I'm signed in and it kicked me back to just the main menu. Let me try to restart it, I guess. All right, back at it. I'm kind of curious what happens if I boot up Dash Launch here, because assuming they seem to be on different NANDs, like what happens if I try to cross over and launch Dash Launch, which is on the other NAND, or maybe I'm not understanding that correctly, but we'll try that out in a minute here and hopefully it doesn't break anything. But we'll try this Tools tab before that. You can see there's an X button down at the bottom for Tools. So we have Network Settings. Also got System Settings where you can set up, oh, actually, you can disable your hard drive. That seems like a bad idea. I'm gonna leave that alone. But it's very cool because you have like the ability to change very minute details here that you can't obviously you can't change all these things on the standard dashboard. Create a new profile. Huh, what in the world? What is that gamer tag? I guess let's make one. ABCD. Random. Huh, okay, so yeah, it made it. And then wipe hard disk development areas. Let's not do that. Let's go ahead and try this Dash Launch and see what will happen if I just try to go back there and launch it. Oh, okay, so that makes sense. It says the kernel is not supported, so it's trying to launch something that's basically not on this NAND, which makes sense. So now we'll turn the console off. Go ahead and hold down the sync button to try to get back to the modded NAND here. And then you saw it flashed blue right there. Now we'll try to turn the console back on. And our fan is going. What is happening? Bro. Okay, all right, so we're back to the modded menu, and the fan is, sure enough, it's going crazy. Not quite sure why, but I'll just leave it alone, I guess. Now, we actually didn't try out any of these games. Let's go ahead and try to boot one up. We'll try out Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Pull it up. It's got the, ooh, you can flip the cover. You can even see the back cover art. That's just such a nice little touch. But let's go ahead and play a game and see if it'll boot up. Yeah, really no surprise. The game is booting up and working just fine. Now, guys, if you want to buy a console just like this, I'll put the info down below for the modder who sold it to me in case you want to buy one from him. But guys, let's go ahead and move on to our next hacked console. Now here I should have a 360 that a viewer sent me, but here's the thing. It's supposed to have a Jasper motherboard, which is the most reliable one, and it's supposedly downgraded to the Blade's dashboard, which is interesting, but let's open it up and find out what's inside. Okay, that's cool. So we got a full Xbox 360 arcade box. Honestly, not in too bad a condition. Hopefully these games are actually included on the hard drive. That's just it'll be a nice little touch. But yeah, that's what the box looks like there. Let's go ahead and pop this sucker open and see what's inside. And wow, that thing is in nice condition. We've got all the little pieces of cardboard here. We've got, oh, yo, we have the original game. Dude, oh, it's sick. It's kind of, oh no. It's got a broken piece here. That sucks. But the game is here and it looks like it's maybe sealed. Looks like it might be resealed, honestly. That's interesting. I do think this guy told me that he basically revamped his entire console, so it's not new, but he like put everything back inside, so it's like pretty close to new, which you can kind of tell here with all of the Xbox Live pamphlets. You got all the cardboard, you got the somewhat sealed game, you got this console we'll take a look at here in a second. Got even more pamphlets here. This one is still sealed. We got a free issue from the Xbox magazine, which is just, that's a throwback. And then down here we've got all our accessories wrapped up nicely. Oh, we got a hard drive. That's what you like to see. We even have our AV cables, our headset, which I'm gonna leave in the packaging because it's just kind of cool to leave that there. And then last but not least, our controller. And wow, this actually might be a brand new 360 controller. Like the joysticks are pretty nice. The buttons are all in nice condition. You still have the sticker here on the front and on the back. Yeah, that's clean. I like to see that. And now taking a look at the console itself, it is pretty much sealed here. You got one little piece of tape holding it together. And from what I remember, this guy told me that he opened this whole thing up and did a full like refurbishment. And you can see here initially right on the bottom, it's just very clean, all four rubber feet are there. Flipping to the front, the faceplate looks pristine as well, which is great to see. Even the flap is intact. Wow. And flipping to the back, this is what I'm most curious about. You can see that first of all, it looks very clean. There's no signs of wear and tear. You've got the power port here that represents a Jasper. And then looking at the manufacturer data, it's from 2009, which is really strange because the Blaze dashboard was taken away in like late 2008 and upgraded to the NXE. So like from factory, this thing could not possibly have been on Blades. But somehow this guy downgraded it to Blades. But he said it's also not modded, but it is kind of, because it was downgraded, I'm not quite sure, but let's go ahead and pop this hard drive on, plug the thing in, and just see what happens. All right, plugged in, let's go ahead and see if this thing turns on. 3, 2, 1, got power, okay. And yeah, sure enough, it looks like Blade so far. It is. What is this? And dude, this is mind-blowing because not only is it Blades, but it's Blades on a Jasper, which has HD output, so it's like high quality. Wait a second. This thing gave me a coughing attack. We have a profile called Jacob420. Did this guy make it just for me? I hope so. I really hope so. But like I was saying, this is HD Blades, high quality Blades. You don't see that all that often. Let's go ahead and get to this main menu and see what it looks like. Wait, is there a game inside? Hold on. Yo, we got Assassin's Creed inside. That's sick. But I'll take a free game. All right, let's go ahead and exit the setup though. And yo, even got the Halo theme as well. And oh, I guess the game is working. Yep, and there it goes, the game working perfectly fine. Which is just always kind of funny to see on a Blaze dashboard. And dude, even the pop-up right here has got the cool theme. Yeah, going back, you got the Halo theme in the background, you got the marketplace tab, you've got all these other tabs here. Let's go ahead and start with the games library, see if there's anything downloaded. Yo, we got 24 games. My man loaded me up here. That's what I'm talking about. We got a trial there I've never heard of. We got Contra, Defender, Dig Dug, Dirt Demo. Oh yeah, we got all the old demos as well, even NHL 08. Test Drive Unlimited, dude. Oh, that's a throwback. I used to play that demo all the time back in the day. And just for nostalgic purposes, we'll boot this game up and play around a little bit. Okay, apparently doing anything with my character is locked right now, so I can't like walk around the house, but I'm pretty sure in this game you can walk around the house and just like do stuff. I don't know, it's cool. But let's go ahead and scroll around and see if this guy left any other goodies for me. So let's start with the music here. Unfortunately, nothing left there. Videos. Hey, we got the one video here. Nice. Let's go ahead and see if this boots up. Yeah, that's what I like to see. One of the original videos here. Nice, nice. Just throwing some background info of the 360. But anyways, back at it. Let's go ahead and see if we have any other themes here, maybe. Yo, we got so many themes. Let's go. We got Carbon, Glass, Bungie Day 08 theme. We got Crash, Crimson Skies, E3 2007, dude. Holiday 08 theme, dude. Let's go. Oh. Man, dude, the nostalgia, it's pretty much just a photo in the background, but it's just like, it's cool, man. Yo, the Connect Premium theme on the Blaze dashboard, what is that gonna look like? Dude, how does this even work? How is there a Connect theme on the Blaze dashboard? I guess somebody maybe ported it over or just like somehow it works. I don't know, news to me, but that's cool. Now guys, last thing I wanted to test out was playing a backed up game on the disk drive, because apparently the disk drive is flashed so you can play backed up games. And when I say backup, I mean something like this. Now this is actually a DVD, not a game, and I don't have any games to test out, so I can't actually test that. But honestly, not sure if it matters, because I don't know who's playing backed up games these days when you can just play on an RGH console off a hard drive. But anyways guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed these consoles. Let me know down below what you think about them, and I'll see you guys next time. Number 7. I bought a custom-built original Xbox from eBay, and in this video, we're gonna unbox it, test it out, and see if it's any good. So first we have a controller and some nice cables, and then a suspicious-looking USB drive here, which we'll, I guess, try out later. And now for the console itself, it looks pretty normal at first glance. I'm not sure. Oh, baby. Oh, hold on. All right, guys, what is this monstrosity? Dude, this is like the Team Executor screen here. I've never used one before, so I don't know how it works. And then we also have whatever this thing is right here, plus a mod chip strung along to the bottom. But overall, this console looks really nice. You can see the bottom, there's like no grime or anything. And it is a console from 2004, so the clock capacitor inside should be good and not busted all over the board and deteriorating the board itself. I guess, guys, let's go ahead and plug this thing in and just see what it does. And also, by the way, this came with this very nice OEM original Xbox component cable, which is worth like almost $100. Like that's a pretty good value. But I guess let's start by plugging in our USB drive here and just seeing what happens when we turn it on. And also, this little assembly here has a protect 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 lights for, I guess, hard drive and LAN port. Now the number 2 is depressed already, so I guess I'll just leave that as is. I don't really want to mess with too much here. So let's go ahead and just turn this thing on and see what happens. 3, 2, 1. Well, I'm a little scared. We got power, and oh my goodness. We've got some flashing lights here in the front. We've got some lights here on this little assembly. There's a blue light on number 2, a red light behind the protect. Got the little Team Executor logo lit up right there. Also, our flash drive is flashing, so yeah, let's see if something happens. Now, the console itself is still not displaying anything, and the fan's just revved up, so not quite sure what's going on here. Let me try to troubleshoot a little bit. Something happened. This was red, then it was now it's solid green. Instead of flashing, the only thing I did was swap to our component cable instead. What? It just turned itself off. All I did was swap to the component cable instead of our composite cable, and then it started kind of working. Oh, yo, something's happening. Okay, so we have our DVD remote thing plugged in again, and then our USB stick plugged in, and now it is booting up. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Executor rocks my box. That's awesome. Hey, dude, we have something now. The console is booted up, and let me first show you the screen here. Okay, so from like straight on, it's just a blue screen, but if you look at the right angle, you can see some text there, and it says XMBC running 2004 something. It says the date and time, which is incorrect. It says it has 33 megabytes of free memory, and then 720 by 480. Okay, so maybe the resolution is too high for composite, and that's why it wasn't giving me any output on my old cable. Let me see if I can like fix that somehow.
One eternity later.
So guys, honestly not quite sure what happened, but it seems we're back in business and the console is displaying out now and you can see it's in full color and everything. Let's go ahead and explore this thing because this thing it seems sick as long as it works. So the first thing you'll notice here on the main menu is we actually have our like prototype Xbox in the background. I'll show you a photo of what that actually looks like in a higher resolution, but that's a pretty cool backdrop there. We got Xbox applications though, we got Xbox modded games, we got Xbox retail games, and then console emulators, which seems to have everything under the sun. Now here under options, this is where I was living for a while. We have a profile name named Modman, which yeah, that tracks. And then we had, I was in the settings for a long time, just kind of scrolling through here. You can change your appearance, like your skin and everything. You can actually change your language, which I accidentally changed it to Danish while I was over here. So I was actually reading Danish on this LCD screen when I was trying to change all the resolution and everything, which was a nightmare, but eventually got through it. But anyways, a bunch of other stuff on here, including an LCD settings menu. So this is for the LCD on the front you see here. And we can actually change the backlight, which I'm kind of curious if that'll make it look better. No, still not quite sure why I can't really see the text on this thing, but we'll try to mess with that later. There's a lot of settings here, like dimming the LCD on playback. It also looks like you can just change what type of LCD it is and turn it off if you want to. And then also I noticed that if you go up and go over here, you can kind of change, I believe, your backdrop. Okay, yeah, so you can change your color of the bottom of the menu, which is kind of cool. Green looks nice there. I'll leave it on green. Let's go ahead and boot up the console emulators here and see what we can play. So we have, we got some arcade machines. Okay, MAME arcade machines as well. Got Atari, NES, N64, Game Boy Advance. Hold on, can it actually emulate N64 on an original Xbox? I guess so. And also you can see how many times these things are played. So Game Boy Advance was played 29 times, Game Boy Color 17 times. Also got Genesis and Super Nintendo. Let me just try N64 game here and see how it runs. Alright, we're gonna go Super Mario 64, The Missing Stars. That sounds like a modded style of game. Yo, what is this? I guess it's some sort of special modded edition of Super Mario 64. Alright guys, let's go back to the main menu. I'm pretty sure I read online you can hold both triggers and then press start and select and it'll take you back. And yep, that combo worked there. Let's try out the Xbox retail games next up and see what pops up here. And yeah, sure enough, we have a handful of Xbox games. Some of them don't have any covers here. We got like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Yeti Sports, Arctic Adventures. What is that? But yeah, I think this straight up has every OG Xbox game, or at least most of them. Bro, there's a Tour de France game on the Xbox. That's actually awesome. Here we go. We gotta play some Simpsons Road Rage. Let's just boot this up and see how it runs. And sure enough, guys, as the game is booting up, you can see here on our LCD it says playing the Simpsons Road Rage, and I need to fix this contrast issue real quick. Let me try to fix this first, then we'll come back. Apparently there is a contrast dial on the mod chip inside of the Xbox. We'll open this up in a few minutes and try to twist that around, then we'll test out that screen. But let's go ahead and play a little bit here. So we'll do some Road Rage. Good old grandpa here. Dude, I used to play this game at a what the heck is that bus doing? Bro, what? I used to play this game at a dentist office back in the day. I don't know why I remembered that, but I did. They had like a GameCube or something, and it's what I played while I was waiting to get my teeth cleaned. All right, but anyways, next up, let's go back and try out some modded games here. All right, so Xbox modded games, I'm excited for this one, and there's, only two of them. We got Counter-Strike here, and GTA San Andreas. Oh, baby, I bet there's gonna be some good mods here. Let's try it out. All right, so how do I use these mods? Looks like normal GTA so far to me. So guys, unfortunately, I can't figure out how to do any of the mods here. I think part of it is they did some retexturizations and maybe added some stuff to the game, like more cars, more weapons. I'm not quite sure. I looked it up and couldn't find specific details about this mod because it was probably done, 20 years ago at this point. Let's just go back and explore some more on this menu. So first we have DVD to Xbox, which I believe is basically you put an Xbox game inside and you burn it to the hard drive. Also have this video mode switch, which I think is for switching from PAL to NTSC. We also have, we got a different dashboard. The XBMC for Gamers dashboard is what we're on right now. You can see in the top left-hand corner, but let's try out this Unleash X dashboard and see what this looks like. Okay, yeah, so I've seen this dashboard before. Let's go ahead and explore it a little bit. So we got File Explorer, our system, which should be basically the same kind of stuff. And actually skins, hold on, skins. So usually on the OG Xbox, people like to leave behind some very interesting skins, like you might have seen in my videos in the past. They were sus. Of course, the background is a half-naked woman from like 2002 or whatever. I've seen it on multiple Xboxes at this point, but let's go ahead and check out some of these and see what they look like. Okay, yeah, so these are all just colors. There's nothing like super crazy. Oh, also, I love opening the disk tray with this menu option right here. What? Hold on, what? I opened the disk tray, it closed itself, and then it like crashed the Xbox. What the heck? Whatever, we're back to the main menu now. Let's go ahead and pop a disc inside though and see if it can actually read real games. What's happening? Every time I press the eject button now, it's just restarting itself. What the heck? I'm not sure if that's intended functionality or not, but let's go ahead and pop this thing in. Okay, it kicks us back to the main menu, and you can see our DVD is spinning in the top right-hand corner. So I guess it's reading now, maybe? Hopefully? All right, if you press start, it says play game. Let's see if that actually works. All right, well, I can't start the game, and it's still trying to load, so maybe the disk drive just doesn't work. Let me see if I pop it open. It's gonna restart itself again. I think that's just like a functionality of modded Xboxes, maybe. I'm not quite sure. But all right, guys, I think it's time to pop this bad boy open, take a look at the inside, and then try to fix this screen here so we can actually see it. All right, guys, screws sticking out the bottom, and I wanted to point out this mod chip down here, which you did see earlier, but it says Team Executor on it, and so just in case you don't know who Team Executor is, they used to do a lot of stuff in the Xbox and Xbox 360 modding community. Honestly, not quite sure what happened to them. I'm pretty sure it was something to do with some legal issues, and so I don't think they exist anymore. Sure enough, we have a 2 terabyte hard drive in here, which is cool to see. Obviously needed to hold all of the games I got on this console. Other than that, it looks pretty normal at first glance, but let's go ahead and start removing some stuff. So guys, whole console is taken apart here, and I want to point out a few things. So first, this LCD screen, I believe, is just a whole, piece, a whole assembly that was installed here, because it fits very cleanly, so I don't think it was like a cutout or anything. And you can see our LCD board is kind of just mounted in there. Then there's a cable that goes from the LCD right there to our Executor mod chip right here, which then has a handful of other wires soldered to the board. I'm not really too sure about how exactly that works. And then also, I've noticed that there seems to be a bunch of red capacitors on this board, which I don't believe I've ever seen red capacitors on an original Xbox motherboard before. You can see one back there, a few back there actually, so I think those are new, which is kind of cool. Hopefully capacitors will last longer than the original ones. And as you can see, everything in here is super clean. The fan's clean, the heatsink's clean, there's no dust or grime or anything in here, so very nice Xbox. Then I guess I should point out this piece down here, which appears to be the same kind of deal as the LCD, where it's just an assembly piece that was popped in place. I don't know if it's popped over the original Xbox case, or if it's like a whole other piece that was somehow installed. I don't really know. But also I found this little wheel down here, which I believe is the contrast wheel that people were talking about. You can see that spinning a little bit right there. Hopefully this is how we can get our screen to show a little bit better. Not a huge fan of turning this thing on while everything is straddling and apart, but we're gonna do it anyway and see what happens. Thank goodness, the Xbox is turning on. And unfortunately, I still can't see anything on the screen unless I'm at an angle here. So let me go back to this wheel in here and try to spin it the other way. Hey, there we go, finally, dude. Just had to spin it, and wow, that looks so much better. That's actually sick. So you can see our XBMC is running, got the date and time, which is wrong. Then you can see our free memory is 34 megabytes, and then our screen resolution. And as I scroll around through the menu, you can see it'll change what it says. So I'm scrolling over to Xbox modded games, now Xbox retail games, now console emulators, and you can just see it says it there. Then I pull up the emulators, and it lets you scroll through, and it just says it there. So that's so sick. It's a little thing, but it's cool. Now let's see what happens when we boot up a Super Nintendo game here. And sure enough, it says playing Nintendo SNES. And I'll show you this little piece over here and kind of what it does. So basically this little light right here is blue. That means the mod chip is running. Now if the LED is red, then that means the mod chip is not running. Then also, based on how many of these switches you click on and off, like what configuration you use, it'll select a different like memory bank, I believe, for the BIOS when it's booting up, something along those lines. And also there's a protect mode right here for something. Not quite sure, but I'm leaving those off because I just don't want to screw anything up. Number 6. I bought a Nintendo Switch 2 from Temu, and in this video, we're gonna unbox it, test it out, and see if we got scammed. Now this Temu purchase is super sketchy because they're trying to hide something from me. Let me explain. So I tried to buy it with multiple different accounts, cards, and addresses, but they kept canceling my order, so I had to have somebody else order it for me, and now we have it here, so I don't know. Let's see what's inside. There's no shot this is how they ship the console to me. That's absurd. And also there's a little converter. Wait, hold on. Why is there a converter brick in here? We're gonna inspect that here in a second, but that's pretty crappy packaging, first of all, and oh my goodness, it's not even a US console. Wait, hold on. And I mean, first thing you see is the Hong Kong official product sticker in the top right hand corner. And by the way, guys, I do have some more Switch 2 accessories I bought from Temu that we'll test out later in this video, but let's take a closer look at this box first. And you got more Chinese writing down here. You even got Chinese writing on the Mario Kart World sticker, or not even a sticker, it's actually embedded in the box. And by the way, I do have a US box to compare to here so we can see if they're similar. Okay, and that's interesting. The first thing I noticed is that the box from Hong Kong is actually a deeper red than the US version. I'm not quite sure why, if that makes a difference at all. And this one also says full game download with our ESRB rating. Over here, there's no rating, and I'm not sure what this says here. Let me actually look that up. So that basically says Mario Kart World's included, which of course makes sense here. Now let's go ahead and compare the rest of the sides of the box. So if you can see here on the bottom, it should come with the same stuff, I believe. And yeah, it looks like the same stuff, but it's formatted differently. So that tells me that something inside this box is going to be completely different, which is interesting. Then flipping to the back, it looks like the same photo here. And yeah, other than that, the sides are basically the same. But let's go ahead and open this box up and see if this thing is even new, because of course that's the sketchy part. Nintendo consoles are not even sealed. So this thing very well could have been opened up and then repackaged and sold as new. So let's go ahead and yeah, slide her on open. And oh yeah, dude. that has 100% been taken out of the box and messed with. Like, look at these ridges and squish. Wait, dude, it's like it's like coming out of the packaging a little bit. There's even like dirt and crap inside of the little packaging there. That's sketchy. All right, let's put that to the side. And we also got our Joy-Cons here. They look like the right Joy-Cons, but again, definitely have been tampered with. You can just kind of tell from the packaging. I've opened up a few of these brand new now, and you can kind of tell when somebody has been in here. Now let's go ahead and see what's inside of. Oh, there we go. We have our little slip with I guess that's our code for Mario Kart World. All right. Also got an HDMI cable, which this does, yeah, that looks brand new. Then we have our little mouse straps there, which look fine. Also got our cable and our power brick. Those actually look new, and yeah, you can tell by the power brick, it's a completely different one for Hong Kong, so that's why they gave us this little adapter here, which that's absurd. Let's also check out our Joy-Con grip here, which looks, what? There's a piece of like mulch or something just hanging on. You just can't make that up. There's literally mulch like on the Joy-Con grip there. Now, I will say I don't see any scratching on the glossy part, which is very surprising. So somebody did something with this thing, but they didn't, I don't know, they didn't actually use the Joy-Con grip, I guess. But let's check out the dock next. And the dock itself looks fine from the front. Back looks good as well. I don't see any scratching or wear and tear, so I don't think they used this. But yes, somebody has definitely been inside of here and done something to this console. Let's go ahead and take this tablet out of the case and see what somebody has done to this thing, because clearly somebody's been messing with it. And yeah, you open it up and there's immediately just like little bits of dust inside of it. So somebody definitely opened this thing up. Now, the good news is I don't see any scratching on the screen. Yeah, no scratching, just a little bit of dust and dirt, which will be really hard to see on camera, but looking at the back, that looks good as well. Let's go ahead and test out this kickstand and see if that still functions, and that's good as well. But otherwise, the tablet looks about the same as the US version as far as I can tell. Let's see if there's anything on the game card. There is not. Next up, let's check out these Joy-Cons here and see if these things have been used or anything. All right, so this one's got a little bit of, again, dust and dirt on it, but appears to be in good condition. And then, of course, our right Joy-Con as well looks good. Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, I don't know. They feel fine so far. Let's go ahead and see if they click into our console. That clicks there. That clicks there. Okay, that's good to go. And you know, it's probably a good time to try out our gaming and charging grip here, which looks interesting. I'm not sure if it'll actually work with the magnets or not. And honestly, the most annoying part here is I ordered all this stuff together and they shipped the accessories, but canceled my console. It's like, what am I gonna do with the accessories if I don't have a console? So that was really stupid. But checking out this grip here, it looks like, it feels a little rough, but it looks like a normal grip. Let's go ahead and see if these actually clip into place. And yeah, yeah, they do, but it's, I don't know, those magnets are not very strong at all. I don't like that. Let's go ahead and see if this thing has any power though. It's supposed to charge them. Okay, now that's kind of cool. I plugged it in to charge and you can see we got a cool rainbow glowing light at the top. Still don't know that it's charging our controller though, but guys, let's go ahead and turn this console on and see if this works. This is what we're all waiting for. Let's go ahead and throw our Joy-Cons on here. A little bit nervous, but 3, 2, 1. Do we have power? Oh, we do. Okay. Okay, so up to the setup. Let me go ahead and complete this and I'll come back once I'm done. Oh no. No, dude. The Hong Kong version I think only works on 2.4 gig Wi-Fi. Yeah, this here's my 2.4 gig and I don't see my 5 gig Wi-Fi. That's tragic. Let me try to search one more time. Yep, nothing. That's tragic. Come on, man. All right, guys, here we are up to the home screen. We did make it this far, which is good. Let's go ahead and, actually, the first thing I want to do is try to sign into my Nintendo account and see if that even works on a Hong Kong console. So it looks like that did work and I'm signed in now. Let's go back to the main page now and see if we can get to the store. Because I'm not sure if the store is exactly the same on the Hong Kong console versus the US console, but it looks, at first glance, it looks the same. Let's go over to Mario Kart World and I'm not sure how I'm going to redeem this thing because like, it's not a, I don't know, it's not a US code and I actually don't want to redeem this, but let's go ahead and see what happens when I try to type the code in. Okay, code typed in and there's no way. Okay, let me try one more time just to make sure I typed it in right. Okay, before that, let me check what this error code says because I think this is the exact same error code I got on the midnight release of this console and like I couldn't redeem Mario Kart World for 3 hours after I got it, so that was absurd. But let's go ahead and see if it's the same error code. So it just says content you are attempting to redeem has not been released for purchase on Nintendo eShop in your region. So are you telling me Hong Kong has not released Mario Kart World yet? Is that the deal here? I don't That's, let me try to type it in one more time. And here we go, and yep, same thing. So I'm not sure, honestly, how segmented the error codes are on Nintendo's website or Nintendo's eShop. So like, did somebody take this code out and use it? Because that would not surprise me in the least bit because the freaking box is open. There's no seal on it at all, and there's no scratch off code on this thing. It's just on the piece of paper. So that's, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. And yeah, I don't know if I blame Nintendo or Temu for that one, maybe both of them. But guys, next up, let's go ahead and check out our Joy-Cons here and check out the stick drift and see if this thing's been used at all and maybe like messed up. I don't know. Let's just test it. So here under calibration, you can see the left stick looks good. I don't see any kind of drift or anything on that one, so that's good. We'll try the right stick now as well, and that one also looks good. Okay, so hopefully these things were not actually used, or at least not used much. Now guys, next up I want to test and see if I can play digital games at all on this console because I'm a little concerned because of the code not working. So let's see if I can transfer my Mario Kart World digital digital license from my Switch to this new Temu Switch, and we'll see if that works or what happens. Okay, so first we're linking the two consoles here, and now it's trying to load Mario Kart World on here, and I think it worked. Okay, let's put my old Switch to the side. Okay, and yeah, it looks like it's downloading, but holy crap, it's gonna take two hours to download because we're on 2.4 gig Wi-Fi, I guess. Holy crap, that's absurdly long. I'm just gonna assume it works because I'm not gonna wait 2 hours for this thing to download. So let's go ahead and try a physical game next. So we have Mario Kart World again, but the physical version. So I don't know if these consoles are region free. I would hope so, but let's go ahead and pop that sucker in and let's see what it does. Okay, so it shows the same one as the downloaded version. We'll see if Start with Software will make this thing work. Okay, well, this is not recognizing my physical game at all. It's just still showing the digital download. So let me pull this out and put it back in one more time. Start software. Need to update. What?
12 seconds later.
Okay, yeah, so update downloaded and it is actually booting now. So let me go ahead and just make sure. It still wasn't very clear if it's playing off the cartridge or off my my virtual game. So let's go ahead and pop this thing out and see if that'll stop the game. Okay, yeah, cool. So it is playing off the cartridge. Cool. So physical games work. We'll try out one more. We'll try out one of our game key cards here. So I have Hogwarts Legacy. We'll pop this sucker in and see if this will load up. And yep, of course you need to download the data. So that appears to be working. Of course, I'm not going to wait 2 hours again for that one, but yeah, it's good to see that the physical games are actually working on the Hong Kong version of this console. Now, there are a couple more tests I want to do in this thing to make sure it's fully legit, but first I'm going to test some of these accessories. So let's go back over to our charging Joy-Con thing here, which I think is charged up now. All right, so console off and plugged in here. Let's see if these things will charge up. Oh, you know what? Hold on. This is not what I thought it was. Let me explain. So I thought there was a battery inside of this charging grip that then charges the Joy-Cons while it's not plugged in, but apparently you have to plug this thing in and now it charges. What's the point of this? Why would you not just use a normal charging dock station or plug it into your console? What? That's useless. Great. All right, and next up we have this cool little charging dock that actually, I like that. It looks nice, and let's go ahead and see if this will work. So this one also needs to be plugged in, obviously, because it's a charging dock. Let's see if this will clip into place. And ooh, gross. It does, but yikes. Watch this. It'll just fall out. Yep, there it goes. And it's also got a little squeaking noise when you plug it in. Oh, I don't like that. But next up, we have this other charging grip, and okay, those are actually magnetic. It's not a very strong magnet, but it's definitely better than the other one. Like, I can't shake it out. That's good. Is it actually charging though? Oh, hold on. Okay, so it does charge, but it's very finicky. Just watch this. So I plug it in. All right, so in the right spot, they're both orange. Now, if I just touch this a little bit, there it goes. It's blue now, so not charging. I like the idea here, guys, but not very good execution. But I'll put some links down below anyways if you want to check them out. But next up, guys, let's get back to the Switch console and do some final testing here. So next I want to see if an original Switch game will work. So let's go ahead and pop this in. Got Super Mario Wonder, and it should pop up immediately. And there it is. Let's see if it loads. And as you can see, after the update, it is working here. So yeah, that's good to go. Now, guys, last but not least, I want to test out this power brick here because that's one of the sketchy things here is we have a Hong Kong power brick with an adapter. So will this even work? I hope so. So let's plug it into the dock and plug the console in and see if that works. Well, first thing to note is these prongs are horrible. They just slide straight out of an outlet. So yeah, that's a great start. All right, well, it's plugged in now. Let's go ahead and see if this shows up on the screen. Hey, there it is. So the power brick works, the dock works, and this thing's not a total failure. But guys, don't bother buying this from Temu. An open Switch 2 with a non-working code is pretty sketch. So let me know down below what you think, but guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Number 5. I've gotten a lot of crazy stuff from AliExpress, you know, anything from a comically large PS2 portable with real hardware inside to a calculator that plays PS5 games. But guys, it gets even crazier in this video. I bought a $200 PlayStation console that you've definitely never seen before, and we'll unbox it, test it out, and try to figure out why this thing exists. Holy crap, guys. You will not believe this. What? And at first glance, this might look normal, right? But no, take a closer look. This is definitely not normal. This is a PS2 Super Slim. Like, I just gotta immediately pull out a PS2 Slim and compare. And yep, in case you guys didn't believe me, this is a real PS2 Slim. This is the AliExpress PS2 Slim that is literally like half the size. Like, look at this. Look at this. This is insane. What is this thing? Now, starting on the front, you see we still have 2 memory card slots, 2 controller ports. We also have only 1 USB port versus 2. And on the normal PS2 Slim, we have an eject button right there, but here it's actually just a power and reset button. So it looks like they actually moved this button over here and then just literally chopped off half of the console. I would assume there's nowhere to put a game here, but I guess we'll find out. And then flipping to this side, it looks pretty normal. Flipping to the bottom, it looks normal as well, but just trimmed in half. Yeah, like it's literally the same. It's just that half is cut off. I'm just more and more blown away every time I look at this thing. And then guys, flipping over to this side, I'm actually really impressed with what they did here, because you'd think just cutting this thing in half, it would have a really jagged edge over here, but no, it actually has the PS2 layers, just like the PS2 Slim. So they did some sort of magic here to get that look on that side. I'm not sure how. And then flipping to the back, oh my goodness. Guys, we have an HDMI port. Dude, this is awesome. We have an HDMI port. We still have our network out, our digital out, our AV multi out, and then of course our power right there. But let's go ahead and see if like a disk drive will pop open or anything. I don't think so. Nope, definitely not. But yeah, in case you don't know, on the normal PS2 Slim, it just pops open like so, and wow, I have a game inside. Nice. And then also just looking around, wait, hold on. Dude, right there in that corner there, I don't know if you can see that, but super zoom it. We've got an SD card, dude. What? We've got a little hidden 128 gigabyte SD card just in the side of the console. That's insane. And I failed to mention that they included a memory card with some cryptic writing on it. I don't know if that's like it looks like a MAC address. Now also guys, one more thing I noticed here on the bottom, we only have 2 rubber feet on the PS2 Super Slim, so it actually slides around a bit when you push it, which is, I'm not a huge fan of. I like to have rubber feet so it doesn't slide around. And then probably the more noteworthy thing here is our PS2 Super Slim is an NTSC-J console versus an NTSC-U/C console over here. And then you can see we have a 79006 model number, which I guess is the PS2 Super Slim model that only comes from Japan. And guys, I have one more comparison here I want to do. This bad boy here also came from AliExpress, and this is massive. It's a PS2 portable. Like literally, it has a PS2 inside of this thing. It has batteries, it has memory cards, it has the original controller kind of buttons here, and yeah, it's clearly a very very large. Let me just go a little size comparison here. You can see that our PS2 Super Slim is like literally just a fraction of the size of this bad boy over here. But of course, we need an external power supply and everything for that, so it's understandable. But guys, let's go ahead and plug this bad boy in and just see what happens. All right, so all plugged in, and guys, I have a few more curiosity kind of questions here to point out. So I'm really curious what the inside of this thing looks like, because is it real PS2 hardware? I would assume so based on the looks, but you never know. They might have done something sketchy inside. We'll find out later. We have it plugged in though, and you can see here on the front, we have a red light. Let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on, and yep, turns green. Oh yeah, I hear a fan. Well, that's a loud fan. What in the world? Well, let's see if it boots. Yup, straight into FreeMc boot. Wow. Looks just like a PS2 menu, but it's obviously modded with FreeMc boot here. We got browser, system config, launch, and then open PS2 LD. I'm not quite sure what that is, but guys, let's check out the version here first. Funny how it has a DVD player in there, but there's clearly no, I guess it's probably emulating the DVD player with the memory card or whatever, or maybe the SD card on the side. Let me check out the browser first here and see if it shows up with our memory card so we can see what's on this bad boy. Okay, so just a bunch of FreeMc boot files. I'm actually curious, what happens if I boot this thing without the memory card? I feel like it just won't boot, maybe? Oh yeah, so it just boots straight into the normal configuration here. Basically like a normal PS2, but of course you can't do anything with it because there's no disk drive. So like, what's the point? Actually, hold on. One more thing I want to try before we dive into the software in this thing. Let me plug in an external disk drive and see if that somehow works. Wait, yo, I was looking for a disk drive and look at this, guys. You won't believe what the side of this thing shows. It's got an orange light. Dude, that's so cool. What? Bro, this thing is actually awesome. All right, let me resume my hunt for a disk drive. All right, disk drive plugged in, and there is power here. Nice, nice. And we have a Japanese PS2 game. Let me go ahead and slide that in. Yeah, so definitely trying to read, but clearly not popping up with anything. Not surprising, but I figured I'd try it. You never know with these modded consoles. Guys, back here on the FreeMc boot page, let's go ahead and explore a little bit. Now let's try this launch page here. Oh, no disk. Well, yeah, there's no disk. There's no disk drive. What? And somehow it took me back to the browser page. What? Huh, apparently I can just access functions from that page there, and I just turned off the console through software, which I've never done on a PS2 before, but you know, it's modded, so that makes sense. All right, so I looked it up, and we're on Launch Shelf right now, as you can see, and it's an open source file manager and executable launcher for the PS2 console, so that makes sense because we're browsing around the files and everything. But let's go back to the main menu here and see if I can access some games. I should also mention that I got another package here that we'll open up later that should have a memory card that has who knows what on it from AliExpress as well. Let's try out this Open PS2 thing right here. There we go, Open PS2 Loader, OPL. That makes sense. I've just seen it called OPL instead of the real name, and holy crap, we got a lot of games. Let's go. We got Biohazard 4, Biohazard Outbreak, also some GTA, Lego Batman, nice. Oh, we also got some PS1 games here as well, like Silent Hill, Parasite Eve Disc 1, and Parasite Eve 2 Disc 1. All right, well, I'm booting up a PS1 game here, and we got all kinds of hacker looking stuff, but let's see if it boots. All right, guys, well, now we're having some issues. I booted up Silent Hill for the PS1. It looks like we have the Japanese version, and it's just the controller doesn't work, which is strange because it worked fine on the main menu, so not sure what's going on there. And in the meantime, I was also looking at the AliExpress listing here, and I'm missing a lot of stuff. Let me just explain. So it says we should have the modified host, which I guess is the PS2, also our memory card, our SD card, and then it says we should have the original power adapter, original wireless Bluetooth vibration handle, which I guess is a controller, and an HDMI cable. But looking at our package here, there was literally just our memory card and our PS2, and this thing is so light, there's nothing left in it, which is not a huge deal, but kind of annoying because it wasn't cheap, especially coming from AliExpress. But guys, let's go back to the main menu here and try to boot up a different game and see if that'll work. Oh, now the controller just doesn't work at all. What? It just straight up doesn't work anymore. I tried to unplug it and plug it back in. Let me just try to turn this thing all the way off, I guess. Guess it was a bug, because now it's fine. But it's not a great sign, because it happened when I tried to play a game, which is obviously what we want to do on a PS2 is play games. So let's try another one. Wait, all my games are gone now. What? Let me just unplug it, I guess. Oh, man, what the heck? All right, well, I unplugged everything and plugged it back in, and it still says cannot connect to SMB server. All right, and now I changed some settings to auto in hopes it would detect some kind of game, and now it's just frozen. Oh, man, this thing was so awesome for a minute. All right, guys, and now I'm in Launch Elf again, trying to just scroll around, and the thing froze again. I can't do anything. Dude, what the heck? All right, well, I guess it's time for our other package here, because this one is just completely crapped out. All right, so I paid 27 bucks for this thing. It's just a memory card, and it should have a ton of games, or maybe it's 2 memory cards. Let me just take this out. I mean, as you guys know, with the AliExpress listings, they're not very clear, but we have our free McBoot right there, it looks like, and then maybe some games here, not quite sure. Oh, actually, this is an adapter for an SD card, and the SD card goes down there, which they conveniently included right here. Let's go ahead and pop these two in, and hopefully this doesn't mess up whatever's going on with this console already, but it's worth a try. All right, so very similar menu pops up here. We got browser, system config, OPL MX4 game version 1, game version 2, OPL 10th, Launch Elf, code break, NES emulator. Oh, okay, that's cool. Simple media system, launch disk, which I can't do, controller tester, BIOS, launch disk, restart system. Okay, so there's a whole lot more stuff going on here. Let's just start with the NES emulator here and see what happens. Or maybe not, been like half a minute and we're still on a black screen. I think this PS2 might just be jacked up. Let me try to restart. All right, guys, well, instead we're gonna try the OPL game version of 1 thing here and see what's on it. So clearly a bunch of just random games, some USA, just like a mix of random games. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, dude. That's one of my favorite games of all time. Let me put that up and hopefully it runs now. Hey, let's go, we're booted up. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Got the garage, dude, the customs. Oh, let's customize our car. Customize this Monte Carlo. Let's go. Oh, my boy. Dude, I remember this guy from when I was like 8 years old playing this game. Oh, man. Memories unlocked. Let's go. We're rocking the gold now. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah, straight to the water. Yep. Oh, crap. All right, guys, well, let's go back to the main menu and try out some more features on this memory card, since it seems to be actually working now. Well, still these 2 memory cards right here, and we're on OPL 10th Anniversary Edition, and it's still just nothing. So maybe it's just something wrong with this OPL 10th. All right, well, I tried another menu option as well. I forgot what it was because it's been loading so long and it's just frozen again. So guys, I think that's our cue to go ahead and turn this thing off and try to open it up and see what it looks like on the inside of this case, because like I'm very curious. So I want to open up both a PS2 Super Slim and a regular Slim here. So I took the screws out and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at these two and kind of compare them. So first we have a regular PS2 Slim, which still disk inside. You can see we have the motherboard taking up the entire shell here, along with a fan here, a heat sink, and then our whole disk drive assembly. And then I'm assuming as we take this out, we'll see the whole disk drive missing. Oh, whoop, hold on, something's attached. All right, so I had to take off this little jumper here that connected to a header on this custom PCB, and wow, this yeah, this thing is straight up a PS2 with no disk drive assembly. You can just see that entire piece is missing. And you would assume they cut the motherboard up some so it would actually fit in here, and I see some like a little bit of jaggedness down there, which is probably from a Dremel, I would assume. And yeah, of course, a little SD card slot here, a little custom dev board, yeah, ESP32 dev kit V1, also another little custom board down there. And I would assume this board connected to the memory card slot has something to do with the free McBoot as well. There's also a button on there. I'm not sure if I should press that. I don't know what it does, but otherwise, yeah, you can see the differences here. And obviously this is just a different model than this one, so natively they're gonna look a bit different, but it's just kind of amazing how they crammed everything in this little tiny space. And also, what is that? There's a little button that you can press back there as well. What does that do? Yeah, and that button is definitely not on the normal PS2 Slim, so I'm not sure what that does, but let me actually just go ahead and plug this thing back in and see what that button does. And also just noticed as we plugged it in, yeah, they did just straight up relocate the power button down here. You can see some solder points down there where they soldered it in. Not the cleanest looking thing, but it works, I guess. Oh, you know what? I think this thing enables and disables the HDMI output. So let me unpress it now, and our signal will go away. Yep. So it just switches over to AV after that. And I should also note that the LED you saw on the side of the case connects via this jumper down to this little header right there. And it looks like there's a resistor with a jumper that I guess just goes to power somewhere to tell it to turn on. But obviously it's not on right now because we're not plugged in. Yeah, guys, other than that, pretty cool device. I just wish it worked better and would actually play games. Not sure what happened because it literally just stopped working as I booted up Silent Hill. Like after I booted up Silent Hill, everything just stopped. So I don't know, but guys, let me know down below if you have any more advice or how to deal with this on this PS2. But guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Number 4.
So one morning when I was lying in bed, I did what I always do. I opened up the Temu app to see if there's anything new for sale. And to my surprise, they were advertising this Switch console for sale for a grand total of 1 penny. So of course I had to pick it up, and as you can probably guess, things went horribly wrong, but you'll never guess what Temu does to me in this process and how deep this scam goes. So guys, let me explain the story. So guys, this here is a screenshot of what I first saw on the Temu app. So basically I clicked on a thing that said cut price to 1 penny, and the first thing you see here is a Switch Lite for 1 penny, which is absolutely mind-blowing, absolutely insane. And you can see down in the left-hand corner, you pick, I guess, 3 different items for 1 penny each, so you pay a grand total of 3 pennies for 3 items. Now for reference, it's very common to open the Temu app and be bombarded with like lots of spinny wheels, wonder wheels, other random money graphics just saying they're gonna cut the price for you, and they make no sense, and it's just a bunch of graphics. So I just wanna give that for reference to show you it's very common for them to like advertise deals, but this is an insane deal. So next up, I selected 3 items here. As you can see, I selected the Switch, the Kirby game, and the Sonic game here. Okay, so all is nice and dandy. I'm saving like $287, which is awesome. And for the next part, I unfortunately did not record my screen of this exact process, but I'll show you another screen recording that's very similar process that we tried later. So basically you go back into the app, or it takes you to like the next step, and here's where it gets tricky. They make you buy another item to then trigger the 1 penny switch. So basically I'm scrolling through and I see all these items for sale, as you can see here, and I found some sort of like wallet thing, which I'll show you. Okay, so here it is. You can see I found this like $8.27 wallet phone thing that attaches to your phone. I don't exactly know what it is, but I said, you know, if I spend $10 on this thing and I get a 1 penny Switch, whatever, I'll buy it. So I went through, and as you can see, I paid $12.08 for this wallet thing. And sure enough, my payment goes through, and then it kicks me back to the screen and says, time to cut the price. And at this point, I'm like, I have no idea what's going on, but they added $8.27 to something, and now it's giving my first gift, my second gift, and now it's saying I need $28 more to get the 1 penny Switch. So I now have both of the 1 penny Switch games, I guess, but I need to spend another $28.65 to get the 1 penny Switch, which again, like, I guess that's fine. It's a little bit of a bait and switch here, but I guess it's fine if I spend $28 and get $170 off a Switch. So let me search through some more and see what else is for sale. So sure enough, I start scrolling through here, and then I scroll back to the top, and I'm like, wait, hold on a second now. First of all, why is there an Amazon notification for Pete Davidson socks? But anyways, you take a closer look at the claim all once you cut another $28.65. If you look under there, there's a little piece of text that says price you cut equals 5% of order amount. So I'm like, wait, hold on, that's math. And that math essentially means we need to spend a bunch of money, and then 5% of that bunch of money needs to be at least $28. So I'll put the exact amount on the screen that you need to spend to hit that trigger here, but I need to spend this much money to now get my 1 penny Switch. So now this is the catch here. This is the first catch of many catches in this video. But this here I kind of expect from Temu to do. They do a little bit of bait and switch here, and I'm like, whatever, I'll scroll through and see if there's anything else interesting, because I want a 1 penny Switch. So let me see what else is for sale. So the next bait and switch thing here I see is a Switch 2 for $72, but then you click on it and it's actually a Switch 2 game, not the Switch 2 console. Oh, and then they start advertising this almost there thing. They're just like making me click stuff. I don't know, just a bunch of random Temu pop-ups as per usual. And I mean, there's a lot of other crap for sale, like PS5s, PCs, I don't know, watches, fake watches, knockoff game consoles, all kinds of crap. But I eventually find this $800 Xbox Series X, and not just any Xbox Series X, it's the Galaxy Black Special Edition Xbox Series X that's actually, it sells for close to $900 brand new on eBay. So like $800, that's not bad. That's another video idea right there, a kind of cheap Xbox Series X from Temu. Let's do that. Let's get the 1 penny Switch. We're rolling here, man. This is looking good. And so I go through with it. I'm just like, you know, $800, whatever. Let's buy this thing and see if we can get our 1 penny Switch. So as you can see, I add it to my cart. I press checkout, payment processing, and indeed, it actually goes through, which at this point, I'm kind of mind blown. Did I actually get a 1 penny Switch? And if sure enough, it shows another graphic. It says 100% off total, and now I can claim my 3 items. So let's see what happens here. And yep, you can see a grand total of 3 cents on the checkout page, saving $287.46, which is just absolutely insane. And yep, I press checkout on this, and sure enough, payment goes through, and I'm getting a 1 penny Switch. Mind blown. And you can even see here in the app, I've got my wallet, I got my Xbox, and I have my 3 penny Switch. So we're good to go, and I just wait for the thing to come in, right? Wrong. So here's what happened. I wake up the next morning and I immediately look at my phone, and the first thing I see is a notification from Temu saying that my 3-cent order has been canceled. And as you can see here, it says refund automatically issued by Temu due to unusual activity. It needs to be processed by your financial institution, blah, blah, blah. What? Unusual activity? Excuse me? I just played the game in your app. The only unusual thing here is your app. I'm playing your game. What? Huh? And guys, it'd be one thing if they canceled my wallet, my Xbox, and my 1-penny Switch, but no, they canceled my 1-penny Switch, made me still pay for my Xbox, and made me still pay for my wallet. Like, are you kidding me? You guys made me pay $900 to get this 1-penny Switch, and now you're pulling the rug on me, taking the 1-penny Switch away, and making me still pay $900 for this other junk I don't want anymore. And of course, the first thing I do is hop into their chat support and try to see if I can somehow salvage this 1-penny Switch. And you know, this is how it goes. They send a bunch of just a BS here. They say the same thing like, oh, it was canceled temporarily because of unusual payment activity, whatever. And I just send them a bunch of crap. Like, are you kidding me? I just played your in-app game for 20 minutes and this is what you give me? Like, seriously? And this here is the funny part. Instead of just, you know, giving me my 1-penny Switch, they're going to give me a 20% discount coupon valid for a grand total of 7 days to make up for the 1-penny Switch that they canceled. They're going to be a 20% discount for 7 days. Wow, thank you. I'm so grateful. And I press the no thanks. That's not an acceptable solution. And then they kind of just like start going away, and I'm calling them scammers and stuff, and they just give me a bunch of, you know, BS in the chat that means nothing. I finally get transferred to Jones, whoever that is. They say, how are you doing today? And I say, not very good considering what you guys are trying to pull here, which I was like 8:30 a.m. I was pretty pissed off at these guys for doing this crap to me. And again, I'm trying to explain it to them again. They keep saying, I'm so sorry. And they say again, unusual payment activity, blah, blah, blah. I can't do anything. And then they say, I understand where you're coming from. May I confirm if you have not received a notification to verify your payment method before this order got canceled? And no, I have not. And let me give you a little backstory. Temu has been canceling my orders for about a year now. Like, almost every order I place gets canceled for absolutely no reason, and nobody will ever tell me what the actual issue is. I reach out to customer support, I message their tech specialists, and they always say, sorry, we can't tell you anything more. So these are my credit cards. I've tried like 4 different credit cards. I've tried PayPal. I've tried different accounts. I have like 3 or 4 Temu accounts at this point, and almost every order gets canceled. Let me just show you. So this here is my old Temu account, and starting in November of last year in 2024, I got a phone refunded. I got another phone refunded. This is canceled and refunded. I didn't receive these. I got a PC refunded. I got a phone refunded. I got another PC refunded. Got another PC refunded. Oh wow, I actually got some Pokemon cards that were delivered to me because they were like $10. I guess those went through. Wow, that's great. Another PC refunded. Random cheap item comes through, and yet again another PC refunded. So finally, earlier this year, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna open a new payment or a new Temu account and see if that fixes anything. And nope. Let me show you what happened there. All right, PC refunded. A watch actually delivered, wow. PS5 refunded, a phone actually delivered, a phone refunded, a $40 Steam Deck thing refunded, a laptop refunded, a couple phones actually delivered, laptop refunded, and as you can see, all of these are saying refund automatically issued by Temu due to unusual activity. And again, I cannot figure out what unusual activity means because nobody will give me an answer. And finally, that leads us to today, where I'm buying the 1-penny Switch and they're refunding that as well, canceling and refunding. Just what is going on here, guys? I'm trying to give you money and you keep canceling my orders. You won't tell me why. Mind blown. I don't know, man. But basically, I went back and forth with support for quite a long time, got no resolution. They finally opened a ticket where some like specialist was going to contact me. But let me show you what the specialist said, because come on, man. Let me just show you. All right, so this email here is what I got back from customer support, the Temu customer service team, and they said, we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience caused. Regrettably, we must inform you that your order has been refunded due to unusual payment activity. Oh my gosh, stop telling me this, man. What? Tell me something else. Why is this always your answer? Come on. But anyways, they send me that, say a bunch of other BS, and I respond back to them and say, like, can you give me some like real details? And this is what they say. As you can see, basically the exact same thing from a customer resolution senior specialist from Temu. It says literally the exact same thing as before. And then I respond back again, like, please give me more details. And they respond back yet again saying, while we are unable to provide specific details about the unusual payment activity, please be assured that we take the security of your account very seriously. Unfortunately, we are unable to disclose the requested address. Oh, oh, I know why I said that. I just saw my reply. I said, give me an address and I'll literally send you 3 pennies in the mail for this order. And they said, we can't give you an address for that. I forgot I said that to him. I was kind of on an unhinged rant there. I'll show you some of those messages if I can find them again, because I was like, I almost thought about sending them this picture here, which I'll show you. I literally took this photo and was about to send it to their customer support to see what they would say, but I didn't. I refrained. But anyways, guys, it doesn't stop there. It continues to go. And all of a sudden, you know, a couple days later, what do you know? My Xbox got canceled as well. And it's not because they wanted to do the right thing. It got canceled because the seller was out of stock. Are you kidding me? It took you 3 or 4 days to figure out this thing was out of stock? Like, and then I click on the listing here. Let me show you that. The listing is just like completely gone now. The item was discontinued. Not even out of stock, it's just discontinued. Probably because they were selling at the wrong price, so they just to cancel my order and said, screw you, you can't have it. And I don't know, man, but that was like the icing on the cake. Cause like, I guess it's nice they canceled my $800 order, but like, what? Come on, man. Seriously? This is how you did it? But guys, it doesn't stop here. You remember that wallet I bought, first of all, like the $12 wallet to try to get the 1 Switch? Well, I tried to cancel that, but nope, they rejected that cancellation request. So I had to reach out to Temu again, and their best thing was go back and press the cancel order item, the cancel order item button, which I said, I've already done that. You guys rejected my request, but they said do it again. So I did it again, and they actually did cancel it this time. So like, here we are a week later, and they've canceled everything I ordered. But it doesn't stop there. Let me show you the next thing that happens. So after that happened, I was like, I was fiending for another 1 Switch. I was like, how can I find another 1 Switch? So I clicked on something random on Temu, probably one of those spinny wheel things. And sure enough, after like one click, it is somehow automatically made me buy a Switch sword thing, a random phone camera thing, and a controller, all for a grand total of like $100. And I'm like, how did I place this order? I didn't press order anything, but sure enough, they're all in my order history. So I have to go and cancel all of those, which is, that's something. And all the while, I was trying to figure out how I accidentally bought this item without actually like clicking the buy item button. So I went back into Temu for a third time to try to like figure out the system again and click on some sketchy stuff and see what happens. And sure enough, I found out what happened, and it's insane. Let me show you. So here I am in this app clicking a win $50 cash thing. I spun a wheel. I don't know what's happening here, but eventually it tells me I have $80 cash, which is not true because it's Temu $80 cash, which means nothing. It basically means they're stealing it from you for, I can't explain how. It's Temu math here. You can see some more convoluted math. Cash bonus on all items. We've got whatever this stuff is here, and 98% progress. I'm top 1 in this round. Whoa, wow, mind blown. And oh, there it is. I actually have 66 cents of cash. What are they saying? But anyways, I'm like, let me just like select something and see what happens. So here I am in another little selection menu with that wallet again, the stupid wallet, also Cuphead, a keyboard, an RGB keyboard with a headset, and a mouse. So I'm like, you know what? Let's pick up this keyboard and see what happens. So guys, pay attention here because this happens really quickly, the whole scam. Okay, so as soon as I press pick it there, you can see for a split second it says your picks at the bottom. It shows my keyboard, and it also says checkout at the bottom. And so when I see the checkout button, I'm like, okay, let me click the checkout button, go to the checkout process, and enter my payment info and all that kind of stuff. But sure enough, what happens is it shows the checkout button for about half a second. As my thumb is going there, it swipes up to the credit card menu where it says submit order. So by the time my finger gets there and pressing checkout, it's actually on submitted order. So I have now submitted the order without actually wanting to. And sure enough, they go and add a note. I don't know what this is. They've now given me $98.14 of cash for whatever. Now it's $98.80 promo guarantee. I don't know what's going on here, but I cannot believe they just pulled the bait and switch on me again by clicking a button and immediately pulling up the submit order button. This is stooping to levels of like, is this fraud? Like, what is going on here? This is insane. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below what you think about Temu. Don't buy from them. Just do not do it. But I'll keep doing it for your pleasure. You're doing pleasure if you want me to. But guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Number 3.
So recently, I bought a Nintendo Switch from Temu for a grand total of 1 penny, and as you can probably guess, things went horribly sideways. And a couple weeks ago, I made a video on the whole situation explaining what went down, and in this video here today, I'm gonna give you an update because things have gone even more off the rails, and don't worry if you haven't seen that video, or if you have, I'm gonna give you a little recap right here. So here's what happened. Basically, I hopped on Temu, they're advertising a Switch for 1 penny, but to get that penny, I have to spend $800 on a wallet and an Xbox Series X, so I do that, and sure enough, I do actually get the Switch for 1 penny. But then the next day I wake up and my 1 penny Switch has been canceled, but they're still making me pay $800 for the Xbox, so rightfully so, I get really mad and start messaging their support, who do absolutely nothing. And then out of the blue, a couple days later, they also cancel the Xbox for being out of stock. But here I am still paying for the wallet that I didn't want, so then I have to hassle with them for a while to get that wallet canceled. But finally, after a while, it's finally all canceled, but I just wasted a bunch of time. But it gets even worse. After that's done, I decide to try another one of their dumb games to see what happens, and they decide to scam me by flashing the checkout button on the corner of the screen for about half a second, and as I'm pressing it, it swaps to the place order button, so I placed an order accidentally when I was just trying to see what would add to my cart. So that's another aspect of the scam. And now guys, this is where the new part of the story picks up, and pay attention because this somehow gets even crazier. Literally the day after I posted the original Temu video, somebody from their customer support reached out again after they saw the video. But before we get to that, I want to take a step back and explain what we tried on another Temu account because the results were mind-blowing. Let me just show you what happened. Okay, so basically after the first original 1 penny Switch got canceled, I wanted to find another 1 penny Switch. So I had Danny, you might know Danny from Smoking Silicon or Cracking Carts or other channels. I had him go on his Temu account and try to get the 1 penny Switch or 1 penny something. So here's what happened there because it's a different outcome and it's a little strange. Okay, so basically he hops into this whole 1 penny thing just like I did, and he has actually different things for sale or things he can pick, like tablets, retro game consoles, sports Switch as they call it. He's got Switch games, NVMe drives, guitars, smartphones, just random stuff. Unfortunately, as we're going through, there's no Nintendo Switch in sight, so at this point I'm like, okay, well we can get another 1 penny thing, like maybe not a Switch, but something else like maybe a phone, a tablet, a game or something. So we go through and let me show you what we picked out. Okay, so first we see this 10-inch tablet and we add that to cart for a grand total of 1 penny. So that's our first item. And remember, we get 3 total items. So next up, we add a phone, which looks like an S25, maybe the S26 Ultra or something, and we add that to the cart as well. And last but not least, we added 1 more tablet to the cart. So basically, we have 3 items, 2 tablets, 1 phone, all for a grand total of 3 cents. So we're saving like 170 bucks. And now we're going to see what the catch is here, because how are we getting these for 3 cents? And as always, they have these weird graphics that pop up saying like 150 cut, 42.25 cut, we got 53.35 cut. They just use these weird buzzwords. Graphics start happening on screen. It says 2 items are ready, but actually you need to do some stuff because of our magnifying glass here. You need to buy some more stuff before you can actually get it for 3 pennies. Ha ha ha, gotcha. And they don't tell you in a plain text. They're like, oh, you need to scroll down, look at the fine text, maybe play a little more of these games. And here we have some more stuff popping up like -$3, hurry. Half these things that pop up, or actually 95% of the things that pop up on Temu don't make any sense. It's just random numbers, random like colors and stuff, trying to get you to play games. It's absurd. That's a whole tangent there. But anyways, basically we get to the whole 3 penny thing, and it says we need to cut 22.13 more to get all 3 items. And basically it says price you cut equals 5% of the order amount. So I'll put on screen what that price is, like how much we need to spend to get $22 off. But let me show you what we try to buy, because what we bought I actually wish was the thing that was being sold for 1 penny. But yeah, let me just show you. So again, scrolling through a bunch of just like crap that honestly I don't want, like, I don't know, keyboards, random $20 projectors, super fast charging cables, a folding cart, just random stuff, knockoff stuff I really do not want. And guys, we seriously scrolled through this whole list for like a minute and a half trying to find something halfway decent rather than just like pure crap. And eventually, as you can see, we find a Switch 2. So we're like, oh, great, let's buy a Switch 2. Now, unfortunately, it is $540, which is like $100 over retail. And this thing was probably like a Hong Kong Switch or Japanese Switch, not even a US-based Switch, which is unfortunate. But we're like, whatever, let's go ahead and buy it and see what happens. And what happens next is surprising, but also not surprising at the same time. So basically we add it and it does the whole cutting thing. And then what do you, wait, hold on. What do we see here? It says it's capped at $12. Okay, so hold on. Now we're changing the game. So before they told us we only needed 5% of the item cost to equal like the 22 bucks, which is a $540 Switch does that. But then they're telling us, oh, actually it's capped at $12. So you're only halfway there. So as you can see here, we actually spent $580 on that Switch 2 after tax and shipping or whatever. And you can see our $12 cut now occurs, and they're gonna give us this little graphic like, oh, you're almost there. You gotta pay us a little bit more money to get your 1 penny Switch. But here we are, we're back to it. And first thing they advertise again is the Switch 2 at the top. So we're like, yeah, screw it, let's buy another Switch 2. And here we add the Switch 2 to the cart, and we'll see if it cuts our price or does some, what is this, magnifying glass thing. Almost there, oh, almost there. You gotta pay for it now. And luckily we go to check out, and it does say 100% off total. So we have 2 Switches now, and now we get to buy our 1 penny phone, our 1 penny tablet, and another 1 penny tablet, and honestly just hope it all comes. So this is where things get really weird. Let me explain what happened next. So here I have a screenshot of the orders we placed here, and as you can see, 1 cent tablet, 1 cent phone, 1 cent tablet, and here's the real kicker: delivered to front door, delivered on September 3rd, delivered on September 2nd. They actually delivered our 1 penny items? Huh? What? I was confused, but he got them. And yeah, I mean, here is one of the 1 penny tablets. We will be making a video on Smoking Silicon, our other tech channel. I'll put a link on the screen, a link down below if you want to check that video out. It comes out in a couple days after this video comes out, but yeah, go check that out. And you'll never believe what happens next. So we get the 1 penny consoles, and then they cancel and refund both of the Switch 2s. what? Hold on a second. You made me spend $1,000 on Switch 2s to get these 1 penny items, and then you gave me the 1 penny items, but canceled the Switch 2s and refunded me. Like, hey man, I'll take it. But like, look, as you can see here, it says $0 refund automatically issued by Temu due to unusual activity. Well, you know what, guys? It doesn't stop there. You remember how I said the day after I posted the original Temu video, somebody from their customer service messaged me and said, "Hey, we saw your video. We want to fix this." Well, let me show you that situation because it's kind of wild as well. So here's the email that Jacinta from Temu sent me. They basically said, "We recently came across your video sharing your experience with us, and first of all, thank you for taking the time to share such a detailed perspective. We really value feedback from users like you. It helps us understand what's working, what we can improve." They say, "Thank you for joining the promotional event. Regarding the order you mentioned being canceled, can you share either an order number or email a link to the Temu account you used for the promotion?" And they said, "I also noticed you mentioned reaching out to customer service before, and please rest assured, we'll take another close look at this and finding a proper solution." Basically, for reference, I reached out before and like sent them a million messages, and they kept saying, "Oh, sorry, it was canceled due to unusual activity." We can't do anything. And then a bunch of blah, 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 questions, details, feedback, whatever. So I send the order number to them, just straight up order number saying like, here it is, fix it maybe. I don't know what'll happen here, but here's the order number. And that was September 5th, and you can see it's not until September 10th they finally follow up. So like zero urgency at all here that the video is racking up hundreds of thousands of views. People are seeing the whole situation and being like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't buy from Temu. And they have no urgency to fix it, they just don't care. But here's what they say in reply. You can see they say, "Thanks for sending over your order number. I really appreciate your patience while I got back to you. I shared it with the team, blah, blah, blah. Your experience is important to us, blah, 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 whatever." So basically they open a support ticket, and let me show you the support ticket because that's where it goes off the rails and makes no sense. But let me show you. So here you can see September 10th again, Temu is processing your request. You're assigned to an agent, blah, blah, blah. Customer service is handling your ticket as quickly as possible, blah, blah, blah. And here you can see on September 10th, I have a reply from Mark Steffen saying, "Dear valued customer, thank you for reaching out to us. We sincerely apologize for the unpleasant experience you've had regarding your canceled cut price to 1 penny order. Please be assured we have escalated this issue to the relevant department, blah, blah, blah. They're investigating, blah, 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 blah." They also actually mentioned, I guess they fully watched the video because they actually mentioned the whole checkout issue. So they say, "We appreciate you bringing the issue with our checkout process to our attention. The unexpected change from checkout button to a submit order slide is certainly not the seamless experience we aim for, and we are grateful for your detailed feedback." Yeah, I'm sure it was totally not a part of the plan to do the checkout to submit button, but whatever, I'll take your word for it. Okay, so then a day later, after investigating or whatever they did in the background, they said, "We understand your frustration regarding the cancellation of order, blah. We want to assure you we're taking your concerns very seriously. After reviewing the matter, we found that the cancellation was due to unusual payment activity." Unusual payment activity. Guys, this is, I don't know, the 25th time they've told me this. I'll flash some screenshots on the screen. Hopefully I can find all of them canceling orders due to unusual payment activity. And they don't tell me why. They don't tell me the real reason. They don't tell me if my credit card's borked or if my PayPal account doesn't work or if they don't want to ship to my address. They just won't tell me. They just say unusual payment activity. And guys, this is also the reason they gave me for originally canceling the 1 penny Switch and why I kept following up with them saying like, this is not a valid excuse. Like, you can't just cancel my 1 penny Switch, make me pay $800 for the Xbox Series X and call it unusual payment activity. I will send you 3 pennies in the mail. And now you do an entire process where you string me out for a whole week where somebody follows up, sees the video and says like, "Oh crap, they're getting hundreds of thousands of views on this video exposing our scam. Let me follow up with customer support and see if we can fix this." And your follow-up is that it's due to unusual payment activity. That was your investigation? What? Are you kidding me? And then in that same message, they just sent a whole chart of all the refunds I've gotten. And I'm like, guys, I know I've gotten refunds. That's fine. I just want to know why. Just tell me why. Like, it can't be that hard. And you can see here at the bottom, their solution is to give me a $20 credit and an additional $50 credit. So they're offering me $70 of Temu credit. So just forget about this and go away. But no, we're not taking that. Let me show you what I said in response. So I responded back and said, "Seriously, after all this time, the only details you can give me for the 10th time," a 10th is actually underballing it. That's like, it's like 25th time, honestly, is the unusual payment activity excuse. You're still not going to give me any real details as to why you canceled my 1 penny order or why you cancel almost every order I place or why your place order button pops up almost instantly after the checkout button pops up. Like, they didn't address that either. So that was my response. And then here was their response to that. So you can see a couple days later, they respond back and say, "Thank you for your continued communication and patience throughout the process. After verifying your case, we found the order was canceled due to unusual payment activity." Wow, I had no idea. Thank you for telling me. In addition to the $70 credit, we would also like to include a 20% off capped at $20 coupon. Then they say, "Regarding your feedback regarding the checkout button at the bottom of the page, quickly sliding to submit order, we further verify that this may be due to the rapid display of the promotional page, causing you to mistakenly click the submit order and then place order." They're basically saying, like, sorry, that's due to design. I don't know what to say at this point. Like, they're just intentionally scamming us, which is, like, not surprising. It's Temu. They're a scammy company. They're a scummy company. But, like, why are you wasting customer support hours and my hours just to give me these BS responses? Like, I truly do not understand. And then at that point, I don't think I replied back, but then they replied back again 2 days later saying the same thing, like, we'll give you the 20% discount on top of the $70 credit, plus the check order, submit button thing, blah, blah, blah. It's by design, whatever. And then after that, I do actually respond. Let me show you what I said. And I kept it pretty simple, and I said, I just want the 1 penny Switch and the 2 games that I ordered that were wrongfully canceled. I don't want a million different promotional credits, which is, that's exactly what I want. So they actually replied back to me like a few minutes ago before making this video and said, we would like to, on top of the 20% off discount capped at $20, we would also like to offer you a $100 credit as well. Wow, so they're just upping their game. So maybe I'll respond back again and they'll give me like $200. And guys, here's the thing. If they're only giving me $100, you know, the guy who made a video on YouTube that has 500,000 views exposing their scummy practices, if they're only giving me $100, what are they gonna give you? Like, absolutely nothing. They're gonna take your money and run, no product or anything. Like, guys, if you want to bribe me, send me more than $100. Like, what? I mean, there's not anything at this point that Temu could do to bribe me to not expose the situation, because they've offered me thousands and thousands of dollars worth of promotional deals over the years, which I have not accepted because it's Temu. But like, if you're trying to bribe me, like, I don't know, send me more than $100. Like, this is absurd. So basically, I followed up with Jacinta, the original, you know, person from Temu who emailed me, and I said my ticket was resolved with quite the disappointing response. I was again given the excuse of unusual payment activity with no real answer as to why my 1 penny Switch was canceled, or as to why the checkout and submit order buttons pop up in the same spot within a split second. I've been given the unusual payment activity response to basically every ticket I've ever opened with no real answer. Instead of fixing the actual issue, I was offered $70 worth of credits to your platform, and I'm sure my order will be canceled again if I try to use those credits, because yeah, I'm sure it will be, because it's Temu. And I thought having this scummy situation exposed to over 400,000 people would prompt an actual response or resolution, but I guess not. And that's the conclusion to the video. No response, no help. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. Just don't buy from them. I'll do it so I can do it for the videos and kind of show you guys the process, but like, just don't do it, guys. Buy from somewhere else. But guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Number 2.
I bought PS5s from TikTok for way too cheap, and in this video, we're gonna unbox them, test them out, and see if it's a scam. Now here's the thing, TikTok has a sketchy store built into their app where you can buy really cheap stuff like an Xbox Series S for $90, or even a Galaxy S24 for only $100, so something weird is going on here. Let's find out what. Now we'll start with this PS5 here, which I only paid $355 for, and I don't know if it's used or new because the listing had no indication, so let's open up the box and just see what's inside. Wait, what is, hold on. What? First thing in this box is a HelloFresh meal kit coupon. And then sure enough, here it is. We have the Fortnite edition PS5 Slim. Let's go ahead and pull it out. Really not sure what the point of this is, but yeah, as you can see, it is a Fortnite edition PS5 Slim, and it's got some little bit of wear and tear on the box, but looking at the front, it looks pretty normal. I don't see any indication that this is like a fake box or like from another country. That looks like it's from the US, I believe. And flipping to the back, I'd say the same thing. Looks pretty good. Honestly, wow, I'm kind of surprised the seal's not broken. Wait, what is that? We have a warning here. I don't recall ever seeing this kind of warning on a PS5 box. But let's go ahead and open up the box and see if this thing is legit. All right, so sliding it out, of course, we have just the standard slipcover. I will say the slipcover looks kind of cool with Fortnite on it. I'm not a Fortnite savant, but it looks cool. Now let's check out this box here and see what's inside. All right, so in here we first have our power cord that looks standard. We also have our horizontal stands. Let's go ahead and see if they're the right ones. Okay, so these are short, so they do appear to be the correct ones for a digital console, which is good to see. Nobody has swapped them out, but we also got an HDMI cord down here, USB-C charging cord, and our controller. Now looking at the controller, it looks pretty good other than like a little bit of grime on it. So it's like, I don't know, man, just always looking for things like suspicious things here, because like, why was this thing so cheap if it was brand new? What is TikTok pulling? Because you'll see later, TikTok is just like, they're pulling so many scams. I'll have to show you, but like, let's go ahead and pull this out of the box and see what's in here. So we have a couple guides here, and then also our console. I'm not sure if Fortnite, yeah, there it is. So we got our code here, the Cobalt Star Bundle. Scratch here for pin. Good, well, it looks like it hasn't been used, which is a good sign. At least the code hasn't. Let's go ahead and pull this console out. And as always, the wrapping around the console looks very unprofessional. Like, this is straight from a factory. If it's brand new, it's like straight from a factory and it looks like that. Like, I don't know, man, just not a big deal, but you think they do a little better. What is that? Hold on. We got a big old string here on the top. Where'd that bad boy come from? That's a little suspicious, but we do have our blue tape here, which usually is how it comes from factory. Also, there's a lot of dust on the front piece there. That could just be from the inside of the box. But overall, the bottom looks pretty good. I don't really see any scratching or anything on the plates itself. Also, the top looks pretty good. I do see some, again, more dirt and grime on these plates, which you won't be able to see because PS5s are horrible on camera. You can't see anything except for just white plates. But guys, let's go ahead and plug this console in and see if it turns on. All right, console plugged in. And one more thing to note on the bottom here is our voltage. So our input voltage is 100 to 240 volts, which is good because I want to check there and make sure they're not sending us a European version of this console, or maybe Middle Eastern, or maybe Japanese. So guys, let's go ahead and see if this console turns on. So 3, 2, 1, we got power here. All right, console's booted up. Let's go ahead and set it up, and I'll come back when I'm on the home menu. So we are booted up here, and first I want to check the system software to see what version we're on. We can kind of get an indication of when this thing was manufactured. So we're on 9.40. Wow, okay, so this is this Fortnite bundle, I think is pretty new. So where I guess they're just packaging in Slims that were manufactured quite a while ago, because 9.4 is at least 6 months old at this point, I believe. Guys, next up, let me check the network connection, and I'll sign in here and make sure that we're not banned, because I have seen that before where I got a return console that was somebody returned because it was banned, and they sold it as refurbished. So that was awesome. Let's go ahead and check that. But all right, guys, I had to update the console, and it looks like we are signed in here, so not banned, which is a great sign. So they're not sending out banned consoles, at least not this one. We'll check the other ones later in the video. But guys, let's try out Ash's Playroom here. I'll play for a little bit and just make sure it's good to go. Yeah. Hey, it works. All right, guys, it's been fooling around for a little bit, and the console's working fine. I can't be for sure on the longevity of this console, but it's pushing out some hot air and stuff, and there's no GPU artifacting, so that's good to see. But guys, one other thing I want to try here on this console is I want to turn it off, break it down a little bit, and put a disk drive on it, and just make sure that port is working and make sure that whole functionality is there. All right, so console off and flipped over. Let's go ahead and pop this plate off. All right, and taking it off. Wait. Oh, okay. For a second, I was scared. I did not see the warranty seal there on that screw, because that's where the PS5 Pro warranty seal goes, but I forgot the Slim's over here. Okay, for a second there, I thought the warranty seal was gone. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean anything, because you can, if you have the resources, you can easily add a warranty seal back to this thing, and could have opened this up, done something to it, who knows what, but it's coming from TikTok Man at a cheap price. So there's a million things that could have been done to this thing, but we've got the disk drive on now. Let's go ahead and turn it back on and just make sure it registers. Yeah, so there it is. All right, the port does work. Now, guys, next up, before we get to our next console, I want to kind of break down the list of consoles TikTok has screwed me on, because there's a lot. So let me just explain it to you. Now guys, here in the TikTok app, let's start here. So in case you don't know, TikTok now has a shop functionality where you can basically buy stuff, like Amazon, eBay, Temu, that sort of thing. And so if you come on here and search for, let's say, Xbox, you'll see a bunch of listings for, an Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, and then you'll start seeing weird stuff like, hold on, this thing right here, an Xbox Series X for $1,200. And I see a lot of this on TikTok shop, where it's a lot of stuff that's either really, really expensive or really, really cheap. And it's like, what is going on here? What kind of crap are you guys trying to pull? And it really gives me vibes of Temu, Wish, AliExpress, that sort of thing, which has tons and tons of sketchy listings and just straight up scams. So weird stuff going on here, but let me show you the other PS5s I've purchased from them that are just, that were all outright scams. All right, so first, earlier this year, I bought a $340 PlayStation 5. It looks like it's a fat PS5 with a blue controller and a white controller from somebody named Greg Henderson. And then I got a refund for it because they just never shipped it. And where it gets really strange is the interaction with the seller. Let me swipe over and show you what happened here. So as you can see, they say, we got your order, so to finalize it, where are you located, question mark, question mark. And so the first thing I notice here is the seller is named Greg Henderson, which is a singular person, and they say we, as in a company. So it's what is going on here? And that set off red flags in my head. And so I see that, I don't respond, because obviously when I place my order, it has my shipping address and all that kind of stuff, and they say, hello. And basically I end up saying sorry, but I'm not gonna send you all that info. You have it through TikTok. Clearly they're trying to pull some kind of scam here where I send them the address outside of TikTok, and they I don't really know what the scam is, but there's some sort of scam here. And basically they end up not shipping it, and I got a refund. Now next up, I bought an Xbox 360. I got a refund for that because they just never shipped it. There was no more to that, just weird. And now next up, I bought an Xbox Series X Halo Infinite Edition for $650, which is actually a decent price. And this one also had a very weird interaction, and the seller just never shipped it. Let me show you what I got. Now this interaction was very similar to the very first one, where it's just a very strange. This person actually started out by saying, are you still here? And I was like, what are they talking about? So I just said okay. And they responded okay back. And then same as the first PS5, they said, kindly forward me your mail address so I can get it to you directly. And then I said, it's in my order. I'm not gonna send it to you outside of my order. There's clearly some scam going on here. And then they just never shipped it out. So I got a refund for it. Just strange stuff. Now next up, I bought another fat PS5 for $350, but that just still hasn't shipped. I bought it a week or two ago, so I'm apparently about to get a refund on that one. And then last but not least, I bought a PS5 Slim 30th Anniversary Edition for $690, which is a decent price aftermarket, and that one has not shipped either. So it's there's tons of just scams going on here in TikTok shop. It's it's running rampant. But guys, let's go ahead and unbox the next cheap PS5 that I bought from TikTok Shop and see if it was a scam. Now guys, this one is the sketchiest one of all. I paid $330 for it. I think it's brand new, maybe used. It, again, did not say, but let's open it up and see what's inside. Yeah, right off the bat, got another Fortnite edition here. Let's go ahead and dump it out. And at first glance, the back looks good here. It's all in English and stuff, and the texture feels correct. Doesn't feel like a fake PS5 box, which is legitimately a possibility with these cheap prices. Now, flipping over to the front, also looks like it has the Fortnite artwork, actually in pretty nice condition. CFI 2015. I don't see any sign of it there being like Chinese writing on here, Japanese writing. You know, it's not like it doesn't look like it's a Middle Eastern console or anything. You know, last time I bought a Switch from TikTok, they sent me a Filipino Switch, which was interesting. But yeah, all this looks pretty standard. So let's go ahead and flip it over to the top, and the warranty seal is actually still intact. So let's go ahead and open it up. Let's see what's inside of here. Slip covers are the bane of my existence, man. Get out of the box. Sony just wants you to destroy their boxes. This is pitiful. This is pissing me off. All right, 10 minutes later, after finally getting the slip cover off, we got the console here. Let's go ahead and open it up. All right, so inside here we got our power cord. Looks nice. We got our horizontal stands. Those look like the correct ones. Also got our HDMI cable, USB-C cable. Looks pretty standard. And of course, our PS5 controller. Let's go ahead and see if this thing's got any like wear and tear. And it looks pretty good. Yeah, if anything, somebody held it for like 10 seconds, but looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and pull this out. And yeah, indeed, we got our Fortnite code and everything. Let's go ahead and see if this thing's used. What do you think? You think it's used? 3, 2, 1, let's flip it over now. And well, scratch here for pin. Now I guess to be completely honest, there's probably a way for scammers to buy codes like these in bulk, scratch them off, use the code, and then apply another like scratch here for pin number kind of thing here. I feel like that wouldn't be too hard to do, honestly. All the papers are in here. Console looks like it's wrapped up from factory, which is not a great wrapping, but let's go ahead and take a look inside of here. We got the console here. Looks pretty good at first glance. I see a couple little smudges, like maybe, I mean, there's like a little bit of dirt and grime there, but like I can't tell if that's from the box or somebody opening this up. I see like one fingerprint, which again, you can never see anything on the PS5s because they're so white, but I don't know. Well, let's plug it in and see if it turns on. All right, guys, console plugged in. Let's go ahead and turn it on. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got life, except there's no output. Console light is white here on the front, but there's no video output. Let me unplug and plug the HDMI back in. You've got to be kidding me. I just verified every connection, and sure enough, it is plugged in properly, but there's nothing. Now, I will say the HDMI connection is actually, it's very tight, which is usually good, but it's, I don't know, maybe it's extra tight this time, which is not good. Yes, the controller's connected up, and I don't remember if it vibrates on the main screen here when I'm setting it up or not, but I don't feel anything vibrating, so what in the heck, dude? Well, guys, watch this. So this right here is the TikTok PS5 from earlier, and as you can see, it's plugged into HDMI right now, and it's on the screen. Both these consoles are on, and just let me swap over to our other console that's having issues. Plug it in. Will it show up? Nope. So everything here is the same, but no output, and yes, output. I mean, like, you've got to be kidding me. I'll give it one more try. Just nothing. I'll try another HDMI cable just cause, but like, it worked fine on the other one. Yep, so using the official HDMI cable that came with the console now, and still, console's on, but not showing up on the screen. And then swapping back over to the other one, works fine. So yep, guys, I guess we know why this console is so cheap. It doesn't work. Let's go ahead and turn the console off, though, and take the plates off and try to take an inspection of this thing and see what they did to it, because like somebody did something to this thing, right? Had to. Now, one thing I was curious about is if the box serial number here matches up with the console, and as you can see, it does. So that's, yeah, it's in the right box. But yeah, let's go ahead and take these plates off and see what's inside of here. All right, so that plate looks normal. This one looks pretty normal as well. I don't really see any wear and tear like around the fan or anything. I don't see any dust in there, so it doesn't, like, if it has been used, it hasn't been used much. Flipping over to this side, same thing, fan. Oh, actually, ooh, wait, hold on. That's interesting. There's a big old, you probably can't see it. Yeah, there's a big old scratch right there. And like, I don't think we'd see a scratch there unless somebody was in here with a screwdriver and just accidentally scraped it, because that's a pretty big scratch right there for it to be from factory. Unless I scraped it with this plate, but I don't think that plate would have created that scratch. Last but not least, this one right here. Okay, so warranty seal still is intact, but again, that doesn't mean much because they could easily take that off and put a new warranty seal on. And yeah, other than that, looks fine. So I'm just frankly so confused at what's going on with TikTok. None of these purchases make any sense whatsoever. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.
Number 1.
Have you ever noticed you can find things on TikTok Shop for way cheaper than they should be, like an Xbox Series X for $189 or even an Apple Watch for $15? Well, I bought some Xbox consoles from TikTok Shop that were suspiciously cheap, and in this video we're going to unbox them, test them out, and try to figure out what's going on here. So in here is the white Series X that I paid $415 for, which is $35 off of retail, which is kind of strange for a console that just came out 2 months ago. I also don't know if this console is new, used, or maybe some sort of repackaged scam, but let's see what's inside. And pulling it out, yep, definitely a white Series X, and at first glance it looks pretty new, but we'll take a closer look at it. First thing I notice is this sticker is a little bit loose, but that might just be how it is on this new white Series X. But let's go ahead and I guess pull this tab and see what happens. Oh, interesting. Yeah, definitely a completely different box from what I'm used to with the Series X. But we got our little white box there. We've got our console, I guess, down here with our white wrapping, and oh, these things are just falling apart, I guess. And yeah, sure enough, there's our console. And we'll take a closer look at what's inside of this little white box here. All right, so first we have a little Xbox symbol, which is, oh, it's just part of that cardboard. Oh, that's nifty. Pretty nice packaging so far, honestly, with this new Xbox. And we have our power cable, HDMI cable. These both look clearly very brand new. Also have our controller here, which is a white Series X controller instead of the black one that comes with the normal Series X, because this is a white console, and looks pretty good as well. I don't see like any suspicious wear and tear inside of it, like it's been opened up. I don't see any gamer juice in the cracks or anything. Feels completely brand new. That's good to see. Also, oh, this nice little box for our batteries. Dude, this packaging is so much better than Sony's PS5 packaging. And then we have our white console here, which has this nice little wrapping around the outside. Dude, that's so nice. Let's go ahead and pop it off though and see what's inside here. Yeah, it kind of just peels apart like so, and at first glance you can see our manufacture date is September 2024, which I think aligns with when this console came out. It's like a couple months before, because I think this came out in November of 2024, and wait, hold on. Oh, I just noticed something strange down here. On the bottom of the console, we almost have like some leakage, some spillage down there. But otherwise, you know, like front or top, whatever you want to call this right here, looks pretty good. The top piece right here looks good as well. It looks like we don't have the green hue inside the console anymore like the black one did. Yeah, I mean, there's like a tiny bit of wear and tear like right there, so like this could have been taken out of the packaging and maybe used once. I don't know. But let's go ahead and plug it in and see what happens. All right, got this bad boy plugged in. Let's go ahead and see if it turns on. 3, 2, 1. We got life, I think. All right, and yeah, booted right up. We got some air coming out the back. We got the setup screen, so let me go ahead and set it up and I'll come back. All right, guys, we'll boot it up. No problem so far, and there's really not a whole lot to test here because, in case you didn't notice, this is an all-digital console with no disk drive. As far as I'm aware, it's basically the same exact thing, but they literally just took the disk drive out and sold it for $50 cheaper. And I am signed into Xbox Live, so it's not banned or anything. It is installing games, downloading from the internet. So honestly, I'm left with more questions than answers after opening this thing up. Let me show you one more thing. So my other thought was that maybe they sold me like a non-US or non-NTSC console here, but looking here on the box, it says for distribution in US/Canada, so it is the right region of console. So like, how is this being sold cheap on TikTok when this console just came out and nobody else is selling it for nearly this much? Unless they got this console in a non-legitimate way, so that's my only guess at how they could sell this for $35 off. But guys, let's move on to our next console. This could have also been like an open box console or something that they just repackaged really well and did some kind of scammy thing. I don't know, man. Now here we should have a white Xbox Series X that I paid $454 for, which is actually retail, except for the fact that I got this completely free mineral camo wrapping thing for the Series X, which retails for $45. So it's like getting $45 off this console unless it's used or maybe obtained in a non-legitimate way. I'm not quite sure, but let's go ahead and open these things up and see what's inside. All right, so first we have this little camo wrapping thing, and hold on, it looks like it's straight from Microsoft. What? Yeah, and oh, this is my first time looking at one of these things, and this is actually really nice. Wow. And next up we got this console, and at first glance, ooh, this is, yeah, I can kind of see why this might have been a little bit cheaper. Let me show you why. So first you can see the sides are bulging. You can see this thing is just like scratched up like crazy, which is not a huge deal if it actually is sealed. And yeah, this little sticker thing right here, I think is sealed. It's not been pulled off, so that's good. We also have some ripped edges on this box here, and yeah, checking the bottom here, it says for distribution in US and Canada, so it seems like it's the right model. But let's go ahead and pull this tab off, open it up, and see if there's something strange going on here. So we have our white box here, and hold on, was this Xbox logo around the other way before? If it was, maybe somebody came in here and flipped this thing around or put it back together wrong, or wait, oh yeah, wait, hold on, this is different. You can see our packaging is completely different here. It's like somebody wrapped it with, dude, this is definitely like repackaged. What is this? Dude, what? Somebody just wrapped this up randomly with whatever this is. What? Let me put this box to the side for a second, and let's take a closer look at this. And you can see it's kind of wrapped with like the same material they use on like PS5s. Maybe actually it's a little bit different, but it just like some random wrapping. And we also have, yeah, we have this same little cloth wrapping inside, but it's all like misaligned and stuff. Yeah, something's going on with this console. let's see what's in this accessory box here. Yeah, wait, what? You can see these cables just have like scotch tape on them. What? What? We also have the controller here, which seems to be oh no, that's got some wear and tear on it as well. You can see here on the back there's just some like dirt and grime on it. It's not like dirty, but it's definitely been used before. You can just tell. I don't know, not bad, but definitely not brand new. And we do have our batteries in here. Okay, let's take a closer look at the console. And the sketchy part is like the listing didn't specify new or used or anything, but everything was brand new stock photos, so you'd assume it's brand new, but I guess not here. And yeah, we have, oh yep, there's a ding right there. Actually, there's some like, you'll never be able to see this on camera because of the colors, but there's like just like a little streak right there of something. And yeah, more just like very, very minor little dings and scratches and stuff. And looking at the back here, it looks like our warranty little tab there and our sticker are fully intact, so I don't think it's been opened up before. But let's go ahead and I guess plug this thing in and see what happens. All right, 3, 2, 1. You guys saw that, right? Okay, so I turned it on. It flashed on for a second, and then it just went back off. Let's try again. Okay, now it's turning on. I feel like somebody's gonna be signed into this console because like that would just align with what I've seen so far. Maybe this is a brand new thing, but I have never seen a QR code on the screen like that. Never. Like I literally just set up another Xbox and it did not have the QR code on the screen. What? All right, well the console may be signed in twice, which I don't think I've ever seen a Series X do. So at this point, I'm just convinced that there's some sort of like malware installed inside of this console. I don't know how that's possible on an Xbox, but it's the theory for now. Let's go ahead and keep booting it up though and see if it'll even work. All right, well anyway, I am booted up, signed in, downloading a game, so it's clearly not banned or anything, and it seems fine. I don't know, man. This one's really strange. It kind of makes sense why it was cheaper now, but like something sketch is going on here. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing we have, which is actually, hold on. I forgot, we need to try out our little camo thing here next. Actually, I love how this thing has a slot for a disk drive where we have a digital console with no disk drive, but yeah, well, let's wrap it. All right, well, gotta say that thing is pretty nice. You can see here from the front, it just, yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's not too snug. But anyways, let's move on because I have some more weird accessories I bought from TikTok. Let's try those out next. So next up, I'll show you a bunch of consoles I bought that were extremely cheap, and they were all just straight scams. Let me just explain and show you why. So here's the first listing on TikTok Shop. I did buy this one, so a Series X for $189, which is just like way too cheap. It never shipped. I eventually got a refund on that one. Next, I bought a Series S with 2 controllers for $190, which is like not terribly cheap, but pretty cheap. Of course, that one never shipped either. I got a refund on that one eventually as well. Now, next up, we have this one. It's called a Microsoft Series S, but it's clearly a Series X, and $350 is definitely reasonable for a used Series X with a game. So like honestly, I thought I would get this one. They also actually shipped this one, but then after shipping, they sent me this message here. They said, kindly reach out to our seller management phone number for more details on how to order. And I should have just said no. And they say, what do you mean no? I said it straight up. I already paid you. I don't need to reach out to someone to order. Either send me my package or refund me, scammer. And then I checked back a few days later, their account was shut down. They never replied back, and eventually I got a refund on that one as well. Next up, I did not buy this one, but there was a Series S listed for $1,900, which is just strange. And next up, I did buy this one, what I would assume is a used Series X for $316. This one just also never shipped, so I got a refund on that one as well. And last but not least, I got this refurbished Xbox One S for $180, which is super expensive. I thought I'd get this one, but it just also never shipped. So yeah, things just keep getting stranger and stranger. And honestly, this next console could be the strangest one yet. It has the potential because I bought a modded Xbox 360 from TikTok, and it actually arrived. Now on the listing, it showed a fat Xbox 360, but it said JTAG RGH, so I don't know if I'm getting a JTAG or an RGH or some weird combo thing that doesn't exist, but let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. And yep, that's definitely a 360 here, and this thing is, wow, this thing is beat to crap. Also, the hard drive is already just coming off. You can see it's like detached there. Well, that's actually a really bad sign. It's literally separating. Also, it's Magic Erase on the side, which is just, oh, even the bottom is Magic Erase. It's got a GameStop warranty sticker. You can't make that stuff up, man. Let me put that back on. Wow, it's just whatever. Anyways, this console it's pretty grimy and dirty, which is kind of expected for a fat 360. Looks like we have a Falcon motherboard, I believe, from 2008, so not horrible. And wow, great, we got a chipped front faceplate. And then also these flaps are just straight up just missing. They're just gone, which is interesting. And also, by the way, this console was not cheap. I'd say it's a little bit more expensive than it should have been for a RGH or JTAG console. But let's plug it in and see what happens. All right, plugged in here. Let's try to turn it on. So 3, 2, 1, and okay, we got life. And it is booted up here. It looks pretty normal at first glance. Let me go ahead and scroll around here, and it looks like there's no profiles loaded up. Yeah, nothing here. Let me see what the hard drive says. So it looks like about a 50 gig hard drive with just nothing. We got some demos downloaded. Hold on. It's probably got something under the games. Yep, XEX menu. All right, let's try to boot that up. That is a modded menu. Let's go ahead and see if it just boots up and if this thing's actually modded. So yeah, sure enough, XEX menu boots up here, and you can see there are no games, but we do have some stuff here. So under content, it looks like we have Aurora Dash Launch, XM360, which I'm not sure if I've ever used that before, but let's see if Aurora boots up here. And yeah, Aurora does boot up, so it looks like this thing is modded. It's just very bare bones with no games or anything loaded up on it. Next up, let's go ahead and see if this disk drive opens up, and then we will put a game inside, see if it reads up. So it opens just very slowly, which is fine. Probably just has a new rubber band inside, which is good. Let's go back to the main menu, throw a disk inside, and see if it reads up. And yeah, that boots up without an issue. So guys, next up I want to tear down this console and just take a look at the inside and see what was actually done to it, because again, not sure if it's an RGH or a JTAG or what else they did to it, so let's open it up. All right, and guys, so flipping this motherboard out, sure enough, as you can see, there's like 3 wires here. So as far as I remember, I think what we're looking at is an RGH3 because there's no mod chip. Let me go ahead and let me just check. Yeah, so looking at a diagram, it does look like an RGH3, which is just one of the many variations of how you can mod your Xbox 360. Let's go ahead and move on to our next sketchy console I bought. And guys, here in this box, we have a refurbished Series X, and there's a couple of weird caveats here. First of all, the listing photo shows a Microsoft refurbished Xbox Series X, like straight from Microsoft. And second, I paid $440 for this instead of the direct from Microsoft cost, which is $450. So like, how is this random person selling it for $10? Like, it doesn't make sense. If you buy it for $450 and then resell it for $440, you lost money. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Okay, so that's interesting. Yeah, so first of all, in case you didn't know, Microsoft actually has their own boxes for the refurbished consoles, which look pretty nice. But the strange part is there's 4 seals here and all the seals are broken. This one's like partially still there, and that one's partially still there, but the rest of them are just like, I don't know, half peeled off. This one's completely gone. So I feel like this is refurbished from Microsoft, but then was used maybe. I don't know. Let's open it up and see what's inside. So we have our Series X here, which is wrapped up very nicely. Also have our cables, which appear to be direct from Microsoft, like not open and used before. And then of course our controller here, which has batteries inside, and the controller appears to be pretty much brand new. And now pulling out the console itself, yeah, that looks really good. Honestly, looking at the packaging around the console here, it looks like it came directly from Microsoft and not, you know, through a third party or whatever. It says it was actually manufactured in October of 2024. So like, is this thing even refurbished or is it just brand new? Let's plug it in and see what happens. All right, guys, booted up, signed in and everything. Let's go ahead and toss a game inside the disk drive and see if that works. Yeah, and game is installing just fine. So again, more questions than answers, but guys, let's go ahead and move on to our last console. So here I should have a refurbished Xbox Series S, and there's a couple caveats here as well. So first of all, the photo also shows it's a Microsoft refurbished Xbox Series S, like directly from Microsoft. And this was $250, which is the normal Series S refurbished price directly from Microsoft. So I don't know. Let's open it up and see what's inside. And yep, sure enough, that looks like a Series S. And yeah, this one also has its own refurbished packaging here for the Series S. And this one actually has the same little tab here as the original white Series X's we saw earlier, which is interesting. Now here's the thing, you know, the outside of the console looks really good, but it could be like the second console we saw where it was clearly not brand new from the cables inside and other crap inside. But let's go ahead and open this one up and see what's inside of this bad boy. All right, first got a little box of accessories here. Also have what appears to be our Series S. And we'll put that to the side and first take a look at this box of accessories. So first we have the same little Xbox logo thing on top. Also have a white Series S controller or Series X controller. They're the same thing, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, the controller looks pretty good. I don't see like any signs of wear and tear. Honestly, kind of funny when the refurbished consoles look better than the new consoles. We also have the cables here as well, which look like they are from factory, which is good to see. And last but not least, got our Series S here, which looks perfect on the bottom, and top looks good as well. And the back also looks good with a manufacture date of 2024. So again, are they putting on new stickers when they refurbish these things, or is this just a new console? Let's plug it in and see what happens. All right, guys, so yeah, we are booted up, we're signed in and everything, and it seems to be perfectly fine. So honestly, I'm just more confused than when I started this video, and they clearly look like they came directly from Microsoft. So like, how is this middleman person making money at all between fees and selling for lower prices? I don't quite understand. Let me know down below if you do. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hopefully you're not as confused as I am now. I'll see you next time. The world of refurbished Amazon consoles is a strange place with a common theme of high prices and scummy sellers, but the worst part is the massive number of 1-star reviews left on every single item. And so in this video, I'm going to put these 1-star reviews to the test on every single Xbox generation and see if they deserve it. Now first we have an original Xbox that I paid $164 for, which is really steep, and the reviews indicate that people got anything from consoles that don't turn on to consoles that don't read games, and worst of all, somebody said they'd rather buy from DK Oldie. So let's open it up and see what's inside. All right, so first we have our power cable, which looks correct. Also have an AV cable. Then we have, oh no, it begins. Here we go, guys. We have, yep, It's a third-party controller. You've got to be kidding me. For $160, you're sending out third-party controllers? Dude, honestly, it feels better than some I've felt, but that's not a great start. Now, here we have our console, and popping this sucker open, let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Now, this is supposed to be in excellent condition, and at first glance, the top looks pretty good. You've got some scuffs and scratching on here, especially around the logo there. That's interesting. The back looks pretty good, and then flipping to the bottom, this actually looks pretty nice in the bottom. All 4 rubber feet are intact. Now, these 2 stickers here appear to have never been removed, so like, has this console been opened up and actually cleaned and refurbished? We'll open the console up later, of course, and check out the inside and see if they did clean it. But anyways, let's go ahead and plug this console in and see if it even turns on. All right, console plugged in, and a handful of reviews said that console did not even turn on, so let's go ahead and put that to the test. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we got power. Seems louder than normal, but all right. And yes, we are booted up. That's a great sign. Let's go ahead and start by actually, I want to check out the, oh man, I'm using this third-party controller, and the D-pad is horrible, horrible. All right, let's start with the memory though. I'm kind of curious if they actually wiped the memory here or not. I doubt they did, because it's not really easy to do, and honestly, I don't care if they do. It is kind of cool they leave behind old save data and stuff. You can see stuff like Batman Begins, Brothers in Arms, Brute Force. But you know, nothing too crazy here, there's honestly a ton of save data. And yeah, let's go ahead and see if there's any music on this thing. And nope, nothing there. All right, let's go ahead and put our next thing to the test. Lots of reviews said their disk drive got stuck, so let's see if this pops open. And yeah, seems pretty smooth. Let me take a look inside this disk drive, and ooh, actually, oh my gosh, there's so much dust and grime in there. Yeah, I'll show some photos here, but you know, for $160 being refurbished, you would think they'd at least clean out the disk drive a little bit and replace the rubber band so the disk drive opens nicely. Let's try it a few more times just to make sure it opens smooth every time. And yeah, to be fair, the disk drive is smooth, but yeah, you'd like to see some of that cleaned up. Let's go ahead and pop a game inside and see if this one reads games. And yeah, game loads right up, so I guess we're one of the lucky ones that got a console that actually works. But guys, let's go ahead and tear down the console, open it up, see if the inside's clean, see if the clock capacitor is removed, because I'm a little concerned about that. Might be leakage all over the board, but let's go ahead and put that to the test. So flipping to the bottom here, you can see our manufacture date is 2002, which means we have a clock capacitor inside that needs to be replaced or at least removed so it doesn't leak all over the board. But let's go ahead and start taking this thing apart. And for original Xboxes, you really want to use a heat gun to get rid of these rubber feet, because otherwise you're just going to tear them up. All right, all screws are out. Let's go ahead and lift this bad boy up, and it looks pretty clean right there. Let's go ahead and check the other side here. Not bad, but there's definitely oh yeah, there's a bunch of dust coming off. Let me go ahead and take out the disk drive and hard drive here. All right, guys. Well, hard drive to the side and disk drive out. You can see very clearly in here, this thing was not clean at all on the inside. There's tons of dust caked into the fan right there, into this heat sink, into the fan on the back as well. There's just dust all over the motherboard. You can see right there, I just kind of cleaned it with my fingertip because it's just so dusty. Now next up is to identify the clock capacitor, which I believe is this capacitor here. And it looks like this one is not leaking, which is a good sign, but it probably will leak eventually, so it should be removed. Now for the review here, I gotta give it 3 stars. Console did turn on, console did read games, console was very dirty inside. Refurbished? I don't think so, but I'd rather buy from here than DK Oldies. Now here we have a refurbished Xbox 360 that I paid $146 for, which is an absurd price for a fat 360, and even more absurd are the reviews. We have a lot of people that unfortunately say Red Ring of Death, Red Ring of Death, Red Ring of Death, and best of all was Kenny's review that says, worst thing I ever bought, I hate used items. Well, it kind of helped a little bit, Kenny, if you told us what was wrong with it. But guys, let's open up the box and hopefully we don't get screwed like Kenny did. And oh no, that's not a good sign. Our AV, we have AV cables here instead of an HDMI cable. Does that mean we got a 360 from like 2005? Oof, that's rough if so. Now for the controller, did we get a real, legit first-party controller? Oh, wait, hold on. I'm a little confused here. At first glance, it looks legit, but the thumbsticks feel off. Oh no, I think they just swapped the thumbsticks, which is not the end of the world, but they don't feel great. But otherwise, it does appear to be an OEM controller, which is good. Now for the console itself, let's do the reveal, and oh, I can already see it in the camera. Oh my goodness. Wait a second, hold on. I'm even more confused now. We have a console from 2008, but there's only an AV port. Oh, this is an Opus motherboard. So basically, either way, it's a very old console. It's got only the AV port, which is really rough here in 2025, especially because I paid $150 for this thing. You'd think they sent a little bit of a better console, but otherwise, the console actually looks really good. The top is very clean. I see like 1 or 2 little scratches or scuffs, which is not bad at all. And here on the front, the faceplate is cracked. I mean, it kind of matches up with the reviews I saw. I saw a handful of reviews that said the faceplate was cracked, so that's awesome. Let me actually just take this faceplate off and take a look underneath this thing. And you can see, yeah, warranty seal has definitely been removed, so this thing has been opened up at some point in time. And back to the back of the console, you can see we have a handful of stickers here, like no hard drive, 424 is when it was tested, I guess. And also some sort of warranty sticker here, which basically says you can't return if it's tampered with, which is just not true in the US. You can't actually do that. But guys, let's go ahead and plug this thing in, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it does not red ring. Guys, console's plugged in, and for the moment of truth, let's see if this thing red rings. And actually, hold on. I also just noticed our side piece right here is actually sticking out a bit because they didn't clamp it in. Anyways, let's try to turn this thing on. 3, 2, 1. Can't make this up, dude. Oh, I had to hold it up to the camera because I knew something was going to happen there. That's just amazing. Let's see what code we got here. 0, 0, 2, 1. I'm seeing a handful of conflicting sources. It's either like GPU, RAM. Either way, it's something I can't fix, but let's just do one thing just in case. Let's turn this thing off, take the hard drive off, then plug it back in and turn it back on and just see if it happens to boot this time. Nope, still red ringed. Will the disk drive open? Okay, well, at least the disk drive opens. That's I guess a positive. But my goodness, I can't believe I paid $150 for a Red Ring of Death console. This is absurd. Now, for our review on this one, I gotta give it 1 star for obvious reasons. Red Ring of Death, Red Ring of Death, Red Ring of Death. I hate used items. Just do not buy this. Now, here I have a refurbished Xbox One console that I paid $350 for, which might sound expensive, but it's because it's a special edition Minecraft console that's actually worth about that much if it's in nice condition. And that's a big if, because oh boy, these reviews are bad. Let me just read to you what Leia had to say. She said, "Broke after second use. Shame on you for selling a broken console to people right before Christmas. I gave this to my 8-year-old as a gift from Santa, and now I'm being ghosted, no refund, nothing. Just a broken console and a devastated child for Christmas." So I'm sorry about that, but let's go ahead and open this up, and hopefully I'm not devastated for Christmas as well, even though it's 11 months away. But let's open it up. All right, so console on top. We also have our, ooh, that controller is just jammed in. Wow. Okay, so let me just pass over that for a second. First, we'll show the power cable, HDMI cable, which look fine, but here's the disappointing part. We just got a random controller here. It has nothing to do with the original. Bro, wait, hold on. What is this? First thing that sucks here is we did not get the special edition controller, and second of all, we have this disgusting sticker on the back, and look, you can just see all the gamer juice in those cracks there. Like, they did not clean this one lick, one iota. This thing is disgusting. That's not a great sign. Let's go ahead and take a look at this console. It's probably not even the limited edition console, but we'll check. All right, guys, does appear we got the correct console, and this thing is actually sick. I mean, look at that. That's just a Minecraft player's dream. It looks pretty nice on top. There's a few scuffs and scratches, but not too bad. Now, what I'm really curious about is why there is a black piece of tape on top of the Xbox logo. Wait, what? What was that all about? Let's just leave that there, I guess. That's strange. And taking a look at the front, it looks pretty solid as well. And the bottom, oh yeah, the bottom is sick as well. Got the little bit of a see-through action there, and we've got our red stuff. I actually don't know what that is because I'm not a Minecraft player. Even have the little hello from Seattle right there, and also there's a little bit of something rattling around on the inside. Ooh, that's not great. Then here on the bottom, we also have our, wait, what? We have another piece of tape over the Xbox logo there. I'm not even gonna peel it off, but you can just tell that's an Xbox logo. Really strange, and the back looks fine, except it's missing the entire like sticker here that's usually there with just info about the console. And it looks like the warranty sticker has been removed, so somebody's opened this up before and done something to it. So this is an interesting console. I'm not sure what's going on here, but let's plug it in and see if we can find out. All right, plugged in. Let's see if it turns on. Got life to start with. That's a good sign. And while the console is booting, I'm going to throw some batteries into this disgusting controller and see if this thing will turn on. All right, controller is on, connected up, and also the console is on. Let me go ahead and set it up, and we'll get to the main page and just test it out. And it appears that in classic Xbox fashion, this thing needs an update, so I'll come back once it's done. Now guys, we're finally updated and on the home menu, and so far so good. You know, we're pushing out air out the fan out the top, but let's go ahead and start by putting a game inside of this bad boy and see if it actually reads, because I've had a lot of issues with Xbox One's reading games in the past, so let's go ahead and test that functionality first. Put in the most expensive Xbox One game of all time, Anthem, and wow, that might be one of the fastest times I've ever seen an Xbox One load a game. Usually it just takes forever, but you can see it is installing now, which is a good sign. Next thing I want to check out is going to the store and just making sure we can browse around and download a game, because we want to make sure we're not banned, right? So let's try that out. So we are signed in, scrolling around here, and we did see some stuff downloading in the background, so I would assume we're not banned here, which is a good sign, because I'm a little confused on why we have these black bars here, the sticker missing off the back, and just some strange stuff here, but so far, so good. And last thing I want to check is our storage space. So we have 500 gigs. I could have sworn this one had 1 terabyte. Hold on, let me look that up. Yeah, what? Hold on. This is definitely supposed to be a 1 terabyte console. I'm looking at it, everywhere advertises it as a 1 terabyte console, and there's only 365 gigs available, which basically means it's probably a 500 gig hard drive, but even 365 seems really low for that. Wait, hold on. I think I know what they did. So we clearly have the stickers gone from the back, including the warranty seal. So what I'm thinking is they took a 500 gig Xbox One S like this one, just a regular old white one. They took the shell off of this one, and then they went and found a Minecraft Xbox One S that did not work, took the shell off that one, and replaced the shell over here. And now we have a 500 gig Xbox One S that is a Minecraft edition, but it's the wrong hard drive size. Now I would open this console up and dig around some more and try to figure some more things out, but this console is definitely going back to them because I got scammed, the controller is dirty, and also I got half the memory I was supposed to, so I'm just gonna return it to them. Now the review on this one's a little bit strange. I'm gonna go with 1 star. Controller had too much gamer juice. Console was 500 gigabytes and not 1 terabyte. Shame on you. It's 11 months till Christmas. Now guys, here I have a refurbished Xbox Series X that I paid about $425 for, and according to the description, the screen is like new with no visible scratches. Now, I didn't know the Xbox Series X had a screen, but that's something, and even more concerning are the reviews that say stuff like, worked for 3 hours, broke down in 3 days, dead on arrival, and best of all is actually a 3-star review from a guy that says, y'all foul, had it for about 2 months and now it's starting to not turn on. So, not great, but let's open it up and see what's inside. Oh, goodness. All right, what? So this thing is in a Microsoft refurbished Xbox box, and the best part is the back here that's just demolished. Now, to be fair, they said that it might not include packaging at all, so I didn't expect this, but let's go ahead and see if the stuff inside of here looks okay. All right, and opening it up, wait a second. I gotta say, this Xbox packaging looks pristine. Like, has this even been taken out of the box? So we'll get to the console in a second. Let me see if we have all the accessories here. So we have our power cord and HDMI, which have definitely never been used. Wow. Also have our controller, which appears to be pretty much brand new. I don't know if I see any wear and tear on this thing. Wow, that looks good. Even have our original battery still in the packaging. And yeah, pulling the box out of here, just like look at that packaging. It's pristine. All right, now pulling it out of the packaging here. At first glance, it looks pretty good. I see a few little scratches on the front, but nothing, they're all very minor. And all the other sides look fine as well. Let's take a look at the back here though, and take a look at this sticker. Looks like it was manufactured in June 2024, which is fine, makes sense, I guess. Doesn't look like this thing's been tampered with at all, or if they did, they used a heat gun, got it off nicely, and then put the sticker back on pretty nicely. And also there's some, what is this blue stuff? It almost looks like the thermal compound or paste or whatever they use on the SSD inside of the Xbox Series X. That's what it looked like to me, so that's a little suspicious, but let's go ahead and I guess pull this thing out, plug it in, and see if it turns on. There's no way. Oh, that was weird. Okay, so the first time I pressed it, it actually was, it appeared to be DOA because I pressed it, it started turning on, and then it didn't finish, which is pretty suspicious, but let's go ahead and see if it boots up this time. All right, console's finally updated, signed in. I gotta say, Xbox's process to sign in is 10 times longer than PlayStation, so props to PlayStation on that, Sony on that one. I was gonna start by putting a game inside of this thing and see if it reads up. Bada bing, bada boom, and woo. All right guys, so disk is installing, which is a great sign, and going back, you can also see we have 760 gigs of storage, which means it basically rounded up to a terabyte. So we actually have the right amount of storage in this console, unlike the last one, which is good to see as well. And I gotta say, y'all ain't foul for this one because it works fine, it looks brand new pretty much. And guys, for our final review, drum roll please. Let's go 5 stars. Not dead on arrival, did not break after 2 hours, almost brand new, and y'all are not foul. Thanks Amazon. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, let me know down below, and I'll see you guys next time.